Lobster says ha 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 James.
You motherfucker! You did that shit on purpose! Asshole! You did that shit on purpose! Don't give me that crap! Fucking year!
Emperor Arma says who is the screaming woman face with tears of joy face with tears of joy. Iceland says how is Pokemon ZA Iceland 1 sad. Indoudera _ opulence says weather changing and people get sick face with medical mask. Rival Lobster says that would be Lionheart.
Buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling.
Iceland says oh this Pokemon. When Lucia 1978 says from the other room you sound like one of your educational videos. Iceland says okay.
for this?
When Lucia 1978 says hi Simba. Iceland says eat nuts Titan Iceland 1 groovin'. Iceland says I'm taking that last crystal.
Yes.
She's not violating TOS. There. You can go now, bro. There. He's got a pillow. There.
I have you unmuted now. So, what did you do to violate TOS this time?
I didn't do anything to violate TOS.
Welcome in, everybody. As you can tell, I am
Yes,
joined
Retro.
by the one and only Retro Lionheart. We are going to continue playing Legends EA. I do
Iceland
apologize
says
for...
James is a bad BOI.
He is a bad boy. He is. It's why he has his own command.
Slander!
He has his own command.
That's slander.
This is your fault. Fix it.
I have a tent. Let me redeem.
But I do want... Thank you for the redeem.
No problem. See the one I put in? I was able to do it with
Iceland says no it ain't.
Well, with technology he left here. Well, anyway, that's your word nightmare. I'm sorry.
You're good. Anyways, I do apologize for not being live recently, guys, and for him not streaming Pokemon, even though he could stream it and try to catch up with me. He chose not to, mainly because he sucks at Pokemon. But
I want to know what she can do Texas with you.
once I'm feeling 100%, I'm still not 100%.
Once he feels 100%, my love.
Rival Lobster says James is bad boy.
James is bad boy.
Yeah,
But we are going to knock out as much as we can today.
I have crystal wings and a golden halo. I got 6 crystal wings, purely crystal, see-through, 100% beautiful, and a golden halo. I am an angel.
So is Lucifer. What's your point?
Dare you?
Iceland says lies.
I am an angel.
So is Lucifer. What's your damn point?
Iceland says he is right.
Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and get
Iceland says
into...
Lucifer was an angel.
Lucifer was an angel. He was God's favorite angel.
They're invisible. Only pure-hearted people can see it.
I'm pure-hearted, so is that cat next to you, and neither one of us see him.
Okay, so I'm a liar. There, you happy?
Can somebody clip
I'm a
that?
liar.
Can somebody clip that?
I'm a liar.
I got it on video. Didn't think I would be recording, did you?
About time. We're gonna go ahead and start Legend ZA.
Cat next to you,
What rank are you at?
I don't know.
Okay, hit X and go to ZA Royale.
Hold on one second. I gotta do something first. I gotta do something first. Give me 1 second. I have to type some stuff in. Wait, what happened to it? You got rid of it?
Got rid of what?
Oh god, I put in the wrong one. I put in Lance because I'm watching Lance.
Iceland says you've added gems bad.
First is gonna I mean, come on,
I
look at these
put in
sexy
the
ass
wrong
muscles,
one. I
dude.
put in the
Look
wrong name.
Look at these sexy ass muscles, this sexy ass abs,
You need to move that
this sexy ass
interactive.
ass, bro. Come on, you can't tell me that's not sexy.
Alright, anyways, let's see what rank you are. I want to see what rank you are.
I had rank F. Right, screw you.
I'm in rank C, dude. The reason you see only 3 Pokemon in my thing, I was doing...
When Lucia 1978 says put it in the wrong one.
Not the first time he's been told that.
I have no comment. I plead the fifth. I plead the motherfucking fifth. Give me 1 second, Chad. I'm working on something real quick.
Gwen
mean
Lucia
besides your will?
1978 says not by me. Lil Neat Murray says can you please send me the request.
I'm not sending you the request, kiddo. You can hit the call-in button. We did get the Greninja.
I did not get mine.
When Lucia 1978 says I don't want to know about the others.
I know there's an event where you have a limited time to get it. Most likely we'll get it from Blaine's. I'm just gonna wait for Blaine's to get them and distribute them to people with the shiny Pokemon.
Lil Neat Murray
Because
says I don't see
I'm
it.
lazy. Alright, I'm freaking lazy.
Well, I'm not adding it, kiddo. It's on call-ins. You've done it before. You know how to do it. But what he's talking about is the ranked
When
battles.
Lucia 1978 says where did Simba go?
Ranked battles will end 11-5. I would go ahead and do it, dude. It's actually fairly quick.
I'm not strong enough to do it. Give me 1 second. Now I can turn this on. There we go.
Lil Neat
Now
Murray
we
says
can-
it's not
now
on
we
there.
can- Now I can do it. There we go.
It's on there, kiddo.
First started far away in Hoenn region? No.
Rival Lobster says I've gone my all shiny
Mega Evolution
team.
didn't start in Hoenn. I played Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Mega Evolution did not exist. At least not in that region.
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire had Mega Evolution.
Yeah, but it didn't start in Hoenn.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says your son is missing.
In Hoenn first. No, it did not. I've gone my all shiny team. You mean you got
Lil
your
Neat
all
Murray says
shiny
I sent a request.
Wait, why am I correcting you when I say dumb shit?
Just remember, my kid's joining in.
Whoa! Sorry. I threw a Pokeball! Oh yeah, I forgot. That's how you get Pokemon. Damn it! I lost a Pokeball! God dang it! I'm not gonna say your ball. I apologize, man.
You're good.
Where do I go now? Wait, come on. You come out.
What's up, kiddo?
I got a pretty feather. camel. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know who I stole that word from? Did you see in my chat? I mean, in my description?
What?
Read what it says in my description.
I can't
When
read your
Lucia
description.
1978 says bless you.
Shenanigans. I stole it from that one veteran that we watched that I gifted you a song.
Oh, shenaniganery?
Yeah, I stole that from him. I was like, I'm still in this. I can't claim it, Chad. I'm just being honest. I can be honest, you know.
I now have Mega Pidgeot, by the way.
When Lucia 1978 says is Nightmare the camel with volcanoes on his back.
Look at this cat, Chad.
What are you doing, kiddo?
What do you think?
Well, then why are you calling me while you're riding your bike?
Because I
That's
want to
dangerous,
talk
by
to
the
you.
way. That is dangerous.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I can ride my bike with one hand. Look.
Yeah, until he wrecks.
I do not wreck, boy.
Yeah, that's what I said when I rode my scooter really, really fast and crashed. Ask Gwen.
I ride this bike every weekend.
When Lucia 1978 says I have been hit by a car before.
I decided to play, I can't even talk. I decided to play Speed Racer and I learned around and find out.
Yes, I have an alarm.
When Lucia 1978 says 116 miles an hour hit me.
By the way, Nightmare, did you know that you could play the Switch 2 version on Switch
You need to
1?
get over, man.
I don't know. I've never tried.
I did. I demonstrated it. It's in the VOD.
Nick,
When
you need
Lucia
to get over. Your
1978
brother's
says
gonna
put
get
me in the
hit by a
E.R.
ball.
I remember that, Gwen. That almost killed you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that is bad.
Where the fudge cakes do I do
Yeah!
now? Oh, my ear! Does it sound like this?
Dude, if you're going to yell, I'm going to
When
hang up.
Lucia 1978 says I would warn your son.
Sorry.
You're yelling into our ears, bud.
Nick,
Oh,
stop.
ah! God, Diglett. Now I know how you guys feel when I scream bloody murder. I guess things
Nick,
happen for a
stop
reason.
sleeping.
Who's this? What's this? See those little ones here? They're trash, the trash bag. That's so sad. They developed a taste for scrap. They're adorable. Like, I think he's already warned this kid about riding his bike that fast.
Nick, stop. I'm on screen. I knew that. So how are you today, Dad?
I'm good, kiddo. How are you?
You're what? Say it, Nick. You hear that?
We're not doing that while I'm on stream.
Nick. Nick. You're not allowed to do that while he's on stream.
Yeah, I'm on stream too, so don't get me in trouble. I'm already dealing with a lot of
That'll get
stuff.
people in trouble right now, Bubba.
I'm already being targeted on my channel.
He's not lying, Nick. Yes, really, Nick.
This kid's gonna get us in trouble. End the call.
Nick, get over. Hang
Remember,
on, I have.
just to be safe, end the call because that's making me feel uneasy, especially after yesterday. Like I got in trouble with Twitch because someone said something and they took it out of context. and the VOD had to be deleted. So I'm not really feeling easy right now. Oh, cool. There's more of these things.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says that kid is going to say the wrong thing.
How do you tell what your rank is? Oh, so that's how you tell. Okay. So that's a good thing. That's a good
Gwen
attack.
Lucia 1978 says I accidentally said the wrong thing by TOS.
Yeah, we both said the wrong thing, and it was taken out of context. So we're just gonna leave it at that.
Gwen
We're
Lucia
going to-
1978 says
yeah,
too
let's
many
be careful,
times.
Glenn. Where am I right now? Where the fudge do I go? Why do I have so many of these Pokemon? Oh yeah, that's because I was
Okay, I'm back on.
Thank you, kiddo.
come back.
Oh my god.
And I'm not doing any shiny hunting till after the game. I'm actually taking your advice.
Guys, it's 6:14.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says is Nightmare the Dinosaur Volcano
We can
back.
finish this. No, we might get called by the time. No. We won't be.
I'm the one with the volcano camel.
We're going around.
Evie Eve Dreams says hey.
We're not
Smiling
going.
face with
Yes, I got
smiling
my
eyes.
ball back. After I recklessly threw it for no reason.
Then we probably should. That,
Gwen Lucia 1978 says is he the camel.
you can't be talking like that when I'm on the stream like that.
Bro, I don't feel comfortable with the kids on the phone.
So,
now.
you're
need to,
playing
like,
that
you
new
need to
Pokemon
tell
game?
me.
Yep,
Is it fun?
I like it.
That's good. I'm happy. Oh my god. Bigger than Nick, we have to find him. Yes.
Evie Eve Dreams says I just woke up face with tears of joy.
What happened?
Welcome in, Evie.
Oh, you just woke up. Welcome in. I hope you had a
Nick,
good
we
sleep.
should go back.
I
Nick,
do have
it's
the
6:13.
the video editor. He left it here. Cool.
It's 6:13.
Evie Eve Dreams says hey. Everyone smiling face with smiling eyes.
I'm gonna call Nanny. I'm gonna call Nanny.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Bubba.
Alright, love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodness gracious. That made me feel
Don't get me wrong, I love my kids to death, I do, but sometimes they need to learn what to say.
Yeah, because I really don't want to worry about editing VODs.
No, they didn't say anything too bad, but they got to be careful.
I don't know, it's just, after what happened yesterday, because I literally got a message from Twitch, it really put a scare in me.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says is Nightmare the camel.
No.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says they didn't yet. Evie Eve Dreams says I'm on my 5th shiny Dratini on the road of getting the shiny
Oh,
alpha.
Nice. Nice. I'm trying to find a Dratini. A shiny one too. I want a male and a female, but I'm not going to evolve the female.
Iceland says wow, not letting us girls evolve. Evie Eve Dreams says 4 male and 1 female
Yes,
so
in
far,
case you're
face with
wondering,
tears of
chat,
joy.
If you saw the,
Faye Gamers Reach says
stream
greetings
earlier,
mortals.
when I was playing
Faye
the
Gamers Reach
Castlevania
says
game,
Pops evil.
you would know that I
Rival
have
Lobster
both
says oh,
versions
the shiny
of
Alpha Dratini is amazing, it's
Legends,
huge.
ZA for Switch and Switch 2 for collector's purposes. Even though they're the same game and they work on the same consoles, I collect them out of collection purposes. Nightmare knows this too.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Nightmare, I have to go pick up our
Evie Eve Dreams says at the
The
Gamers
gift
Reach
cards.
Day. Smiling face
Yeah,
with smiling
because
eyes.
my friend told me that
Faye Gamers Reach says I came back
he
from
has them-
Napland.
he has them for me,
Faye
so I
Gamers
have to
Reach
go
says
pick
at
them up
Evie of Dreams
myself.
hello 3.
But
Okay.
he's sending an Uber to pick me up.
Gwen
and get them
Lucia
because he does it from
1978 says when we get old and gray they get
by
sold.
myself.
Okay, brother.
Just to let you know that he told me that to come pick him up because he's
Faye
gonna be
Gamers
at
Reach
work,
says hi Gwen
but he
Retrol
does it from
45
home,
Sephiroth
so
Wave.
his sister knows, and
Gwen
I'm
Lucia
gonna get ready to pick up
1978 says hi.
So yeah, I'm just letting you know that you're getting your gift card so we can get the DLC. No, Simba, don't growl. No. No, you stay calm. No. Calm. Be calm. Oh goodness, this cat scares me sometimes. I'm gonna give chat some advice. If you guys ever want a wild animal for a pet, even Nightmare knows this. Be sure you know
Faye
how to
Gamers
handle
Reach
the
says Simba
animal,
is being Terry
because
Torai
if
again
you don't,
LUL.
that could cause a problem for you and the animal itself.
Yeah.
Or am I wrong, Nightmare? Because
You're
I
wrong.
haven't had Blackfoot,
Gwen Lucia
and
1978
it
says
can be
Simba mommy
loving,
is
but
here.
It can also be very aggressive. Gwen, I might need you to come get Simba if it continues to act aggressive.
Faye Gamers Reach says hi Nightmare Retrol
Welcome in,
45 Sephiroth Wave.
Welcome back,
Welcome in,
Teddy.
gamers.
You wanna stay calm?
Faye Gamers Reach says
Okay, good,
LUL.
you're staying calm. Oh, sorry guys, give me 1 second.
Faye Gamers Reach says Mr. Laser Nipple Man.
It really,
Gwen
it's very
Lucia
scary.
1978 says speak car to him.
Especially if it's an African Blackfoot, because even though he's very loving, he's also very aggressive. And I have to be really careful. Because he's already sent me to the ER once. And Gwen can actually vouch for that. Speak card to him. I don't know what that means. And yes, gamer, my
Faye
name
Gamers
is
Reach says LUL.
very powerful orange reddish laser.
Faye Gamers Reach says I don't think that's possible. Iceland says you def do.
Also, Nightmare.
Faye Gamers Reach says I don't
I've
frickin' care
noticed
about
that
your
the
nips.
reason why I'm behind
Gwen
you
Lucia
is
1978
because of
says
the
I
fact
meant
that
cat.
I've been nature hunting.
Iceland says you like saying
Yes,
SUS
right, I shouldn't
words.
be doing that.
Faye Gamers Reach says LUL.
I shouldn't be nature hunting. I should be looking to progress further in the game. But then again, you already knew that.
Iceland says behind you. Iceland says feels weird man.
What I mean is we're showing a demonstration between the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 version. And the only difference is graphical. Isn't it graphical, Nightmare?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says and he had to cauterize his leg once to close a wound. Faye Gamers Reach says Nightmare did you see the clips earlier in Castlevania
Are you
stream?
listening?
Not yet,
Evie
gamers.
Eve Dreams says I'm still at Y in the game face with tears of joy.
I'm still at Y in the game. I'm already at F.
Faye Gamers Reach says LUL funny shit.
Oh, he'll watch it later when he has the time. He'll probably look for stupid things for the clip, because I said a lot of dumb shit.
Thaygamers Reach says there's something really wrong with him.
There's something really wrong with me. I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Thaygamers Reach says OBS.
Whoa, easy, buddy.
Gwen
Welcome
Lucia
in.
1978 says you had to burn your leg once to close a eon.
That's
Oh, it's
burned.
Pix. Hi, babe.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Thaygamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 ouch. Sinful underscore pixels says
Thank you
thanks.
for redeeming Shadow Dead
Thaygamers
earlier.
Reach says painful. Thaygamers Reach says hi pixels 3. Sinful underscore pixels says hey babe. Sinful underscore pixels says hey at Retro Lionheart I'm good thanks
Hope
3.
y'all naughty bunnies.
Sinful underscore pixels says tired.
Naughty
EV
bunnies.
Eve Dreams says I have both copies of the game Two
I woke
Face
up
with
and
tears of
rushed
joy.
downstairs.
Iceland says James says penetrator get her balls out of my face and penis on stream.
How are you feeling? I'm
Gwen
actually-
Lucia 1978 says speak cat. Thaygamers Reach says
Naughty,
LUL.
bro. Where do I go now?
Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VT I have clip of proof.
Whee! 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 Okay, that's where I need to go. This actually feels better than playing Castlevania where I'm now rocking my brains to death. I'm trying to figure out where the freak
Thaygamers
to go.
Reach says James are you high again?
At least here I
LUL.
don't have to take breaks. I'm not high.
I question it.
Not yet.
Thaygamers Reach says BS.
Why would you question it?
Because it's you.
Ouch. 'Cause it's me.
Thaygamers Reach says I don't believe you
At least
LUL.
not right now.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he always is on Pepsi.
What's wrong with you?
Thaygamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 sounds about right.
Yes, that is true. I'm always on Pepsi. Aw,
Thaygamers Reach says LUL.
what the hell was that? That was pretty loud.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he's already had 4 Pepsis. Thaygamers Reach says holy nips. Thaygamers Reach says 4. Gwen Lucia 1978 says speak cat to him.
Where do I go? Okay, there we go. That was a lot of item collection.
Oh,
Thaygamers
mine?
Reach says for Pepsis is
Yeah, I
nuts.
heard it.
Thaygamers Reach says 4 asterisk.
Catching fairy. Now I can get an alpha fairy. Now I can get an alpha fairy. Six. You missed 2, Gwen. 6 Pepsis.
Thaygamers Reach
Jesus,
says
man.
6.
Don't judge me.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says speak cat. Speak cat. Thaygamers
Yes, I
Reach
get
says
high
he's
on
definitely
Pepsi.
high. EV Eve Dreams says one of the shiny Dradini has a jolly nature. Thaygamers Reach says I am judging.
Why does that look like a drug deal? No, I'm gonna take a picture of that. That looks like a drug dealer. I got good stuff here, Mike.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says there's only 4 empty cans in the fridge.
Stranger.
Thaygamers Reach says you shall be
Good
judged
things
James
on
LUL.
sale, stranger. Wait, this isn't Resident Evil 4. Thank you. Thank you. Stranger, stranger. Now that is a weapon. miss Resident Evil 4.
Thagamers Reach says, is it even possible to speak cat?
Is it
Meow,
possible?
meow, 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 meow.
Iceland says, Jinx LUL James so unhinged I love it.
Meow,
Gwen
meow,
Lucia
meow,
1978 says he does.
meow, 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 meow.
Oh God, what have I started?
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT you should hear him off stream LUL.
You activated cat mode in me.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you said you spoke cat James.
I love it. I'm glad
Thagamers
you
Reach
do.
says cat powers
At
activate.
least someone appreciates it. Yeah, Trubbish. There's a trash can.
Thagamers Reach says James doesn't behave off stream LUL.
Yes, it did. Are you cereal? Are you cereal?
Thagamers
That
Reach
is
says I know from
bullcore.
experience trust.
James doesn't be. I behave. I'm an angel.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says is symbol liking your cat speaking. Thagamers Reach says no you don't LUL.
This stupid Pokemon made me waste a ball on it. I can get those balls back. I'm not too worried about it. By the way, do you want to know why I hate the
Thagamers
autosave
Reach says
menu?
ask Gwen.
Why?
Gwen Lucia 1978
What
says
the
the
hell
cereal
is
is
wrong
in the
with you?
pantry.
I'm really asking.
That their game glitched out.
Thagamers
and
Reach says
because of
Gwen
the
does
autosave,
James
they-
behave off stream.
They're in a never-ending loop and you have to start over again. This is the number one reason why I hate autosave. Because you can actually get into a loop glitch.
Okay.
I think that they
Thagamers
should
Reach
never
says
put
legit
autosave
question.
on this.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he
I'm
never
sure they thought
behaves.
it was a good idea, but I don't think
Thagamers
it
Reach
is.
says see James. Thagamers Reach says Gwen has spoken.
But I like this game. This game's awesome. Does it have its problems? Yes.
Oh, this takes place after Sword and Shield.
5 years.
It just says Galar's former champion Leon. So it's after Sword and Shield.
Yeah, but this also takes place 5 years after X and Y.
Yes, I know this. I'm the one that told you.
Iceland says LOL. Thagamers Reach says LUL.
I believe you said it took place 5,000 years.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says does symbol like your cat speaking James. Thagamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 he never behaves on Discord BTW. Thagamers Reach says LUL. Iceland says he's like shut up you learned from the master. Thagamers Reach says LMAO.
Really? I have to go in here? Stone. I can get fossils? Bro, I can buy fossils. I can buy fossils.
You didn't know you could buy fossils?
No, I did not. I thought you had to catch the fossil Pokemon.
Nope.
Yeah, we get one jaw fossil and one sail fossil. And I'm not gonna get the old amber yet.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says give me your credit card, James.
When it's not real money, it's the in-game money.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I don't need more
don't
debt.
When you really need to understand how these games
Iceland
work.
says LOL Gwen.
Nightmare, can you please explain to her that it's not real?
It's in-game money. It's not real money. They don't have anything like that.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says dry humor. Thaygamers Reach says LUL.
You know what? I'm an idiot.
Thaygamers Reach says Gwen's funny.
I should have known that you would not be gullible to believe that. Oh gosh.
Thaygamers Reach says James, you are an idiot. Thaygamers Reach says that's nothing new. Gwen Lucia 1978 says facepalm, dry humor.
What am I doing wrong?
Iceland says Dayog Gamer.
Run, little critters, run! Run while you still have a soul.
Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VTLUL it's called Tough Love LUL.
Was that an Ultra Ball I just found? Yes, it was.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says does symbol like the Sky Demon. Iceland says James needs tough love. Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VT Iceland says he gets penetrated too much. Thaygamers Reach says LMAOO.
By Skeletor and the Penetrators. of
Thaygamers Reach says and I thought I was
Game of
SUS.
Pennsylvania. Skeletor and those evil Archer Fox shoot me with their Penetrators. She's not wrong. She tells the truth. Iceland does tell the truth. She's witnessed the penetration. I mean the penetrate. I'm just gonna shut up now.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says my mind went weird places.
My
Iceland
mind
says,
went
bruh.
weird places.
Iceland says TMI there. Iceland says shut up. Thaygamers Reach says
I will,
LMAOO.
Ice. I will. I will.
Thaygamers Reach says James, you're such a freaking idiot sometimes. Thaygamers Reach
Sometimes?
says Sinikel UL.
I can't be. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Iceland says what happens in your house with Gwen stays in your mind only. Thaygamers Reach says all the time. Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VT yes tie. Rival Lobster says James an idiot 24/7. Gwen Lucia 1978 says yeah James, what happens when I'm not here?
I am not an idiot 24/7. That is
Just
a lie.
Thaygamers
23/7.
Reach says at Rival
There's
Lobster
times where
agreed
he's
he doesn't
asleep,
get paid
too.
enough with this BSLUL.
That is a lie. That is slander.
EVEF Dreams says https://www.twitch.tv/retrolionheart/clip/fantastic spotless clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/clip/ Gwen Lucia 1978 says number 25 8. Thaygamers Reach says EVLUL. Iceland says it's only slander if it's a lie. Eve Dreams says face with hand over mouth. Iceland says we spiting OT facts on this diss track. Thaygamers Reach says at EV of Dreams you're funny LUL. Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VTLMAOOO.
Why do I say dumb shit? Why do I say dumb shit?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I watched the clip. Thaygamers Reach says you always say dumb shit.
We're spinning facts on this track. Hey, that's actually pretty good.
Eve Dreams says see how CC and I get along so well face with tears of joy.
No.
Thaygamers Reach says you're figuring this now.
Oh, you want to play, huh?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says so has Iceland assisted in the penetration. Rival Lobster says yeah James you always say stupid shit. Thaygamers Reach says LMAO Gwen LUL.
Catch it. You bastard!
Iceland says stare.
Catch it!
Thaygamers Reach says Retrol 45 Zims hawked.
High level. Stare.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says we are waiting James.
No, she did not. How dare you? How dare you, Gwen? She just witnessed
Thaygamers Reach says
penetrating,
LUL.
that's all. How dare you?
Iceland says why am I involved in James penetration moments?
You're not. Gwen is confused.
Iceland says I plead the fifth.
Poor Ice. She's being
Gwen Lucia
dragged into
1978
my
says
mess.
Skeletor. That's worse. Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VT it's one of his crazy moments.
Look, I've been having problems with Skeletor shooting his penetrators in Castlevania. He won't leave me alone.
Thaygamers
I
Reach
had to
says at
kill
Iceland
a
VTC this
bunch
is
of
how you
freaking
plead the
times.
fifth. Gwen Lucia 1978 says you're good Ice.
Gyarados, use.
Iceland
Penetrator
says I would love to
buttons.
file a police report for being accused in a non-consensual involve only by association as a witness. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Skeletor and you participate in penetration? Thaygamers Reach says LMAOO. Thaygamers Reach says Ice is Hylarouse LUL.
You're misconstruing the truth, Gwen.
Gwen Lucia
I know
1978
that's
says
a
I agree.
one-way participation. He tries to violate me, but I violate him. But never mind.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says dry humor.
How's that hole you're digging?
Iceland says James need a penetration station at this point. Eve Dreams says I just sent the clip to CC face with tears of joy.
Shut up,
Thaygamers
man.
Reach
Good
says
idea,
James
no
stop
one
being a
asked.
weird shit LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says call a lawyer.
Cat's expression.
Thaygamers Reach says LMAOO nightmare.
Look at Simba's expression. Simba's like, what the hell? Look at this cat's expression. Look at him stare at me. He's staring
Thaygamers
into my
Reach says at
soul.
Gwen Lucia 1978 but James is a lawyer LUL.
He's just staring directly into my soul.
Iceland says Gwen can be my lawyer against James Iceland 1 sip Iceland 1 groovin. Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VTLUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says not that kind of lawyer. Thaygamers Reach says LMAO.
Hold on,
Gwen
man. My
Lucia
guest star
1978
just
says I'm game.
crashed. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it crashed for a second. That was weird.
Sinful underscore pixels says back to
I don't
back
know.
useless teammates. Gwen Lucia 1978 says speak cat to him.
By the way, I'm able to use Chrome to do the pro stream because I actually use Techno's program to allow me to use the camera and the mic. Well, I guess his files showed me how to do it. He left a lot of files here. He left his laptop, 2 hard drives filled with data. You don't want to know what's on those. And a bunch of instructions on how to stream.
Thaygamers Reach says GE's.
I'm surprised he has
Iceland says left files feels weird, man.
Other than how to hack the Switch too.
Iceland says don't know what's
Like,
on them.
that's the only thing he ever streamed, and his freaking computer had data on everything on how to stream.
Thaygamers Reach says at Iceland VT I don't wanna know.
How to keep the OBS stable. I'm like, why didn't he just not instruct people? He could have made money instructing people how to do
Iceland
stuff.
says holy cannoli roly poly.
I still don't understand why smart people do dumb shit. Yeah, Techno Skeletor left all his tech
Iceland
here
says don't want to know asterisk.
before he went to jail. And I'm not going to say what because I don't know if that's client privilege confidentiality.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says any naughty photos. Thaygamers Reach says I could use those instructions for Streaminf James.
That's a star you.
Iceland says it is. Thaygamers Reach says streaming asterisk.
That is an, oh hell yeah, that is an alpha.
Iceland says 100% it would be.
Oh, I most definitely can give you the instructions. He left everything. Dude left everything. He left his
Gwen
high
Lucia
definition
1978 says you do
camera.
stupid shit.
He left his laptop.
Thaygamers
his
Reach says this is
pronouns.
Skeletor we talkin' he has
Dude
naughty
left it
photos
all.
LUL.
It's like he knew he was
Gwen
going to
Lucia
jail.
1978 says any naughty photos. Thaygamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 he probably does.
Gwen.
Thaygamers Reach says
As for
LUL.
the naughty photos, yes and no. And the reason why I say that is because there was a lot of photos of him. in
Thaygamers Reach
boxers
says
without his
Lamfeo.
shirt on, which I was traumatized looking.
Thaygamers Reach says brew of TF. Gwen Lucia
And I'm
1978
having a
says
hard
any
time
naughty
deleting
photos.
them all.
Thaygamers Reach says I'm scared chat.
Dude had nothing but
Thaygamers
his
Reach
own
says
picture.
Retrol
I
45
think he was
Zims Hocked Retrol
narcissistic.
45 Zims Hocked Retrol 45 Zims Hocked.
The file
Iceland
says
says okay NVM.
best pictures taken.
Thaygamers Reach says chat I'm
Model
scared.
photography. Where to send penthouse.
Iceland says
That's
him
what the
naked
file
isn't horrible
said.
what you made it
And I'm
seem.
like, what the fuck was he doing?
Apparently modeling for Penthouse.
I had to
Thaygamers
Google
Reach
what
says I'm
penthouse
scared.
was. And I found out exactly what they did.
Thaygamers Reach says LMAOOO. EV Eve Dreams says flushed face. Thaygamers Reach says EV I'm scared.
I'm scared too. That's why I'm not going to show anyone the phone. I don't even know if it's TOS.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says that is narcissistic. Iceland
Dude,
says
there's
you
a-
made
there's
it
a
sound
picture of
like
him
he
like
had far
this.
worse. EV Eve Dreams says at the Gamers Reach
With
me
no
two face
shirt
with
on.
tears of joy. Thaygamers Reach says at EV of Dreams LUL.
Yeah, I figured it was Gwen. You know
Gwen
better
Lucia
than I do.
1978 says
You're an
Kanye
expert
did
at
the same thing.
narcissistic people 'cause you dealt with a few of them. But dude, Homeboy was just,
Thaygamers Reach says ew
I
Kanye.
don't know what Homeboy was doing.
Gwen Lucia
when he left his
1978 says
computer here,
BTW South
And
Park
all those
moment.
files that showed you how to stream and everything, but what the files with his photos of him.
Gwen Lucia
modeling,
1978
like,
says
in
Penthouse.
Speedos. I was like, what the
Gwen
fuck was
Lucia
he doing?
1978 says duh.
I was just terrified looking at the photos. I'm like, bro, what were you doing?
Thaygamers Reach says James, send me the stream instructions when you have the time.
I was already planning on doing that. I was gonna show you how to do it. It
Thaygamers
actually
Reach
shows
says
you how to
THX.
make these what is it called?
Thaygamers
These
Reach says I
channel
appreciate it.
point, images. You see where it says Shadow Den and Kafka? I was
Gwen
able
Lucia
to make
1978 says
those
dreaming.
with his instructions.
Thaygamers Reach says yes.
First off, you didn't make the Shadow Den
Iceland
logo,
says
so
he was
don't you
touchy
sit there and say you
MMNVM, I
did.
won't go there.
I'm not saying the Shadow. I didn't say I made it
Thaygamers Reach says
smaller.
Ice TFLUL.
It's not hard to
Gwen
make
Lucia
it smaller.
1978 says of being rich and famous.
Well, without the damn instructions from Techno Skeletor, I would have
Iceland says
had
I'm
to
kidding.
ask you for help.
Thaygamers Reach says and I thought I was SUS. Iceland says I don't know.
Ice, you weren't
Hey,
wrong.
Gamers
There's
Reach
a
says
video of him
LUL.
doing this.
Iceland says Pride Shrug.
This is him.
Thaygamers Reach says
For
Ice is more
2
SUS
hours
than I am.
straight doing this.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says someone was touching Something.
Literally, there's a video of Techno Skeletor.
Thaygamers Reach says
Not gonna say his
WTF.
name 'cause I could get in trouble leaking his name.
Thaygamers Reach
He was
says
doing this for
Retrol
2
45
hours.
Zims Hawked.
2 hours straight. So you're not wrong.
Thaygamers Reach says Chad I'm scared.
That shit terrified me. I had to fast forward it. I realized he was doing it for 2 hours straight. I was like, what the fuck was he doing in his private time?
Thaygamers Reach says I'm traumatized. Gwen
And
Lucia
don't worry, Chad, I'm
1978
gonna
says
be
do you do
deleting
that?
all those files 'cause
Thaygamers
he ain't
Reach says
coming back for
THX
that
James.
crap.
Iceland says I'm
Otherwise, he
very
would never
dirty-minded
have
and
left
can get
it.
an understanding of people and see the
Where knows
future.
this
Jinx
better than
LUL
anyone? That's
ancestors
considered
were witches. I
abandoned
have
property.
powers.
It's been like, what, 30 days, Gwen? That's considered abandoned
Thaygamers
property,
Reach
if
says
I'm
at
not
Iceland
mistaken.
VT you're worse than me LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says told you.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Ice. She straight up knew he had that in there. And don't get me
Thaygamers Reach
started
says
with the
James she's
pictures of
worse than
him
me.
and 2 other guys.
Gwen Lucia
Don't get me
1978
started.
says what is
There's
Simba's
one where
expression?
there is a guy next to him,
Iceland
and
says
he's
yeah
like
you have to
this,
give notice to
looking
someone
at
and
him,
they are
and they're
supposed to
both
retrieve it in 30
shirtless
days.
And Speedos.
Iceland says WOA 2 other guys.
I'm not
Thaygamers
joking.
Reach says
I
Retrol
would show you
45
guys,
Zims
but
Hawked
it would
Retrol
violate
45
TOS
Zims
if I
Hawked
tried.
Retrol 45 Zims Hawked Retrol 45 Zims Hawked.
I have no
Iceland
idea
says
what
Def
kind of
got
person
penetrated.
he was.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says
This
hold
is
on to
why
it for
Gwen tells
safekeeping.
me that she
Iceland
wants to
says himself
screen
and the
all
other
my
2.
friends.
Thaygamers Reach says Ice I'm scared. Gwen Lucia 1978
And Gwen
says do
always
fit
got
I.
a weird vibe when
Gwen
Techno
Lucia
was
1978 says
here. Gwen
did.
says, I don't feel
Iceland says
comfortable
LOL
with it
gamer.
here.
Thaygamers Reach says LUL. Gwen
Well,
Lucia
if you
1978 says stop
I had
traumatizing
to
people.
put it in a different
Thaygamers Reach says
computer.
she's not wrong James. Iceland says
Well,
you
yeah,
have
Gamer, I will
interesting
give you the
friends.
instructions on what you need to
Thaygamers
start
Reach says at
streaming
Gwen
this.
Lucia
Oh, boy, I left the
1978
treasure
thank you
trove.
Gwen.
I was able to
Thaygamers
make the
Reach says
shadow
bet
thing thing
THX.
smaller. Not the logo, but
Gwen
make it
Lucia
smaller.
1978 says a
Nightmare made the shadow
narcissistic
thing.
psychopath.
By the way, that's a cool logo.
Iceland says you told me about the other friend too. Thaygamers Reach says other friend.
And I'm sorry if I misspoke. I made it smaller. He
Gwen
already
Lucia
had a program in there
1978
that
says
made
our
it
ex-roommate.
smaller and was able to convert it from a
Thaygamers Reach
JPEG
says oh gotcha.
to
Gwen
I
Lucia
guess
1978
It was already on
says do so.
PNG, so it wasn't a JPEG. Unless you
Oh,
downloaded it as a JPEG, it was a PNG
yeah,
file.
I downloaded it as a JPEG because it wouldn't let me do it.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says treasure.
But yeah. Homeboy left a huge treasure trove. But but also a
Ice
lot
Lymph says
of
at the
weird
Gamer's
data.
Reach I cannot disclose which
A
person, but I
lot
know of the other
weird
friend.
data.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says do not release your treasure. Erg. Thagamers Reach says you should probably delete the weird data.
I'm gonna put it on a separate hard
Ice
drive.
Lymph says
'cause
he'll
he did
text you,
leave a
James.
Blank hard drive. Is that a Magikarp Alpha? Yes, it is. I gotta go get it. I gotta get that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that. Where's the gate? Where's the gate? Where's the gate? Where's the gate? Da-da-da. I found the gate. Okay, Ice. No, but I had no idea Techno was a very strange individual. Like, I don't think bro really
Ice Lymph
intended
says
to
just
leave
did.
that kind of data.
Thagamers Reach says
behind.
Retrol 45 Zims Hocked. Retrol 45 Zims Hocked. Ice Lymph says Jinx LUL.
Where's that fucking
Gwen
Magikarp
Lucia
at?
1978 says a
Where's
treasure
the Alpha
trove.
Magikarp?
Erg, don't lose me treasure.
Oh, what was that?
Thagamers Reach says brothers like Urvh, that's not for you.
Detective. Is that an Alpha? Nope, nope, gotta bust. Gotta bust on out of here. There it is. Wait, how the fuck do I get over there? How do I get over there? There's gotta be a way over there. Come on, that's not right. Okay, that's how you get over there.
Ice Lymph says I'm collecting summons RN in FF3. Rival Lobster says I really want to spoiler something about this game, but I'm respectful and I
Yes,
won't.
playing Final Fantasy 3. Speaking of Final Fantasy, shouldn't you be streaming the Pixel Collection, Nightmare?
I have a long list of things, so don't sit there and tell me what I should be streaming.
I'm joking, no. I am joking.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says still no response, James. What is Simba's expression? Thagamers Reach says LUL.
Damn, you hit me again.
Ice Lymph says I'm with Nightmare.
I gotta run.
Thagamers Reach says stop being a dick, James. Ice Lymph says I have a long ass list. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Erg, I have a treasure. Ice Lymph says I need a break from KHDDD. Ice Lymph says so I'm playing FF1 to 6. Thagamers Reach says I have a long list of games that I wanna do for my Twitch channel.
Nice. I gotta see those runs.
Thagamers Reach says James has seen all of it. Gwen Lucia 1978 says was it a pillow cause you won't answer me.
I caught an Alpha Magikarp! After it nearly kicked my ass. And I got my Great Ball back. Nice.
Thagamers Reach says Lance 12 flashing G, Lance 12 flashing G.
Stop being a dick, James. What did I do now?
Rival Lobster says good job, James.
Thank you for the GGs. Thank you, you lobster. Was it a pillowcase? You won't answer me?
Thagamers Reach says you were being a dick to Nightmare LUL.
Kingdom Hearts is stressful. I have a treasure. What was I? I'm missing my chat. Still no response, seeing the stigma.
When Lucia 1978 says if he doesn't answer me he ain't gonna see none of it.
Simba looks highly
Thagamers Reach
disappointed.
says LMAO.
I don't understand why. Simba just
When
looks
Lucia
like I'm showing-
1978 says look up.
Like, look, he just looks disappointed. He's just laying down looking disappointed.
Iceland says it why. Iceland says Iceland one sip. Thagamers Reach says very veiled of disappointment LUL.
I don't know what I did wrong. Very valid disappointment. Whatever.
Thagamers Reach says very veiled.
He's even mad when I touch him. I answered you. I just showed
Thagamers
you
Reach says Simba has the right to be
Simba
disappointed.
has the right to be disappointed. Screw you.
When Lucia 1978 says cause you wouldn't answer mommy.
He's staring at my soul again.
Thagamers Reach says LUL. Thagamers Reach says because you're saying stupid shit on stream. Iceland says I mean Simba has valid reasons. When Lucia 1978 says a treasure trove, or don't lose my treasure, I be a pirate.
And he a pirate. I mean, Simba has a, yes, I know Simba has a valid reason to be disappointed in me right now. Many of you guys have valid reasons. I'm not arguing those facts.
When Lucia 1978 says you found Skeleton's booty. Thagamers Reach says do what you want because a pirate is free, you are a pirate.
Okay.
Rival Lobster says when doesn't James not being a idiot on stream.
I miss my other cat.
Thagamers Reach says at Rival Lobster he's an idiot 24/7. Gwen Lucia 1978 says
Almost
keep reading.
friendlier than Simba. How am I missing this Pokemon? Oh, now I can catch it. I found more than his. I'm not gonna say it. I found a lot more than his treasure. Okay, I'm gonna be straight with you guys.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you found Skeletor's booty.
File that's in the laptop. And this is literally the amount of photos he has. He has 1 terabyte of photos of nothing but him and a bunch of other guys. He has 27 gigs of videos of him. 27 gigs.
Thagamers Reach says I'm terrified. Gwen Lucia 1978 says exactly.
1 terabyte of photos.
Thagamers Reach says Retrol 45 Zims Hawk.
And 27 gigs.
Gwen
of
Lucia
video
1978 says
of
you
him.
found his booty. Thagamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 LMAO.
So,
Gwen
I
Lucia
don't know what a
1978 says
homeboy
you saw his booty.
was doing, but a lot of those photos did not look family friendly. I don't feel comfortable.
Gwen Lucia
anymore
1978 says you
about
saw
this
him touch his
topic.
booty.
Where am I going?
Rival Lobster says why do you still have his laptop and files? Iceland says yes. Thagamers Reach says yes aim. Iceland says James talks too much.
James talks too much.
You're not wrong. I haven't been able to get a word in
Thagamers Reach says
half the
Iceland
stream.
VT yeah think. Iceland says Iceland won fine.
I'm just gonna say this. I kept the files.
Gwen
because
Lucia
I'm not sure what to do.
1978 says hold on to those riches. Iceland
yeah,
says
sure,
Iceland
man.
1 buff L, Iceland 1 buff M, Iceland 1 buff R.
I'm not open to them again.
Thagamers Reach says yeah James be like blah blah blah.
Give me 1 second, chat.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he may want them back and you don't have to return them. Thagamers Reach says LUL.
Give me 1 second.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I just told you you dork. Gwen Lucia
By the time he
1978 says
gets
I
out of
didn't say to
jail,
open
we'll
them.
be in our 60s to 70s.
Gwen Lucia
He's
1978
not
says
coming
hide the
back
booty.
for them. I don't think you realize the exact length of time he was given.
Thagamers Reach says man he'll feel old bro.
Nor do you realize exactly what he did.
Gwen Lucia
He is not
1978
getting
says
out
cover the booty.
anytime soon. I'm not going to get into the details, but
Rival
I will
Lobster
say
says
this.
bury the booty.
That man is never getting
Gwen
out.
Lucia 1978 says who cares.
At least
Thagamers
not
Reach
while
says at
we
Rival
are
Lobster
alive.
LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says it's still a treasure.
And to be honest with you, he left everything here, possibly knowing that he was never getting out. Who leaves that much equipment? Who
Iceland
leaves
says
that
James
many
sounds like he wants to
files?
penetrate the booty. Iceland says feels weird man Iceland 1 sip.
My goodness, Ice.
Thagamers Reach says Ice WTF LUL.
You know what? You guys are really
Indoudera underscore opulence says rage. Gwen Lucia 1978 says and it grinds at him
Where
that
are
you
you
have
at,
his
Nightmare?
booty. Thagamers Reach says Endow Sukas wave. Indoudera underscore opulence says destroy. Thagamers Reach says yeah think James. Gwen Lucia 1978 says keep it that way. Iceland says hey I'm just saying cause he cares so much about booty.
Did you read
Iceland
my
says
chat?
impenetrators. Thagamers Reach says Nightmare is traumatized. Thagamers Reach says LUL. Indoudera underscore opulence says clone. Thagamers Reach says so am I. Gwen Lucia 1978 says exactly let Nightmare talk. Thagamers Reach says I'm traumatized too LUL.
If he ever let me talk, I'd be
Indoudera
amazed.
underscore opulence says wild beaver.
I asked you a question.
Didn't even hear the question with how much you've been yelling.
I just
Thagamers
asked
Reach says
you,
yeah let bro
do you
cook.
need an evolution? How far are you?
Oh, I'm
You paid
Iceland says
attention?
poor Nightmare. Indoudera underscore opulence says drink coffee. Thagamers Reach says LUL.
I'm currently working
Iceland
on
says James Def asked you.
getting another McChoke so I can evolve into
Thagamers Reach
McChamp.
says LMFAO.
I have to. Do you need one?
No, I'm
Gwen
evolving
Lucia
another
1978
McChoke
says let
into,
Nightmare
or another McChop into a McChoke.
Well, do you need a Machamp?
Nope,
No? What do you mean no?
not yet.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you do.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says don't yell at him James.
Oh, I've got my voice back, so he wants to yell. We can yell.
No, I don't want to yell. I'm losing my voice.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, are those at McDonald's? Iceland says,
Where
yeah,
are
cuz you
McDonald's?
getting penetrated and talking too much. Thagamers Reach says, at Iceland VTLUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, no surprise. Thagamers Reach says, James, you're such a moron sometimes LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, as much as you use it. Iceland says, maybe you also need MCD's nuts in your mouth. Thagamers Reach says, at Iceland VT Lumfeo.
As you can see, Simba stood up.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, MC Choke and MC
He
Champ.
has to look at disappointment. Look at Simba. He has
Thagamers
disappointment
Reach
in
says,
his
let's go. Thagamers Reach says, W.
Okay, I need to figure out where to go next.
Iceland says, hey, laughter is the best medicine. Thagamers Reach says it is.
Yes, it is. I agree, yes, it is.
Iceland says, I bet James wants a MC Choke. Thagamers Reach says, if you don't laugh, you're not human.
I'm starting to act up.
Thagamers Reach says, at Iceland VT Retrol 45 Zims Hawked. Thagamers Reach says, damn, Ice is more SUS than me, good lord. Iceland says, cuz James will be the MC champ of Eng 108 Rebecca Gassam. Iceland says, I forgot I got that emote. Iceland says, Jinx LUL. Thagamers Reach says LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, at McDonald's or on the street in an alleyway.
Oh my god, Gwen.
Thagamers Reach says, James Ice is more SUS than me.
AI Gamer, I'll send you the program that
Iceland says, James be in an alleyway with MR Penetrator.
helps you
Thagamers
reach
Reach says
your own
LUL.
sub-badges and
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, I think Ice is funny.
he left a lot of programs behind. I'm being honest, this guy
Thagamers
knew
Reach
he
says,
was
at
not
Gwen
gonna
Lucia
get it.
1978 she's Hyla Rouse. Thagamers Reach says, THX James. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, same dry sense of humor as me.
No problem. Gamer. Ice is funny. Both Gwen and Ice are amazing women. And they're funny too. I love them both, they're awesome. What are you evolving?
Thagamers Reach says, Ice is more SUS than me, which is surprising, James LUL.
Nice.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, we heard the first time. Iceland says, THX James, don't get too used to it.
You're still sweet, Ice. You're still sweet. Where the hell am I going?
I don't know how long I'm going to be live because I'm not feeling 100% yet, but I'm trying to at least be live for a little while.
I'm gonna be live for a while.
Thagamers Reach says take it easy Nightmare. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Nightmare the floor is yours.
Oh, that's if he ever stops talking enough for me to say anything.
You're not saying anything.
Gwen
'Cause
Lucia
I don't get a
1978
chance.
says wait a MC Chop.
Well, then say something.
Iceland says oh James knows we were on
Whose
Discord
mouth
VC
don't
for
get
11
fed?
hours straight. Poor Gwen told him to get off, we're talking too much Jinx LUL. Thagamers Reach says
See,
LMAO.
that's 14. Where's
Gwen
15?
Lucia 1978 says are we cutting something off?
Ooh.
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT 11 hours straight. Jeez. Gwen Lucia 1978 says are you okay Nightmare?
Yeah, just I'm not 100% after being sick. I just wanted to
Iceland
come
says yeah the
on
penis
and
that
be
hits
live for a
James.
little bit.
Iceland says Avenge 108 Evil. Gwen Lucia 1978 says James you be quiet. Gwen Lucia 1978 says quiet. Thagamers Reach says James never shuts up we all know this. Iceland says or the FF7 moment. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I agree Ice. Iceland says he'll rip it off, he'll cut it off, he'll smash it off, pick her poison. Gwen Lucia 1978 says closed things don't get fed James. Gwen Lucia 1978 says nudge nudge. Iceland says we support you Gwen if James need a lesson, we all look the other way as witnesses. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Squid 1 Squid 2 Squid 3 Squid 4. Thagamers Reach says he'll find ways to torture James LUL. Thagamers Reach says trust.
I caught an Abra. Yes.
Iceland
That's
says
alright.
why her booty out in Pokemon, trying to get penetrated?
While you're
Gwen
talking
Lucia
about catching an Abra, I
1978
just
says I
caught
got a way
a
to torture him,
Pumpkaboo.
certain clothing.
Fuck you. I hope you choke on it.
And Alpha
Gwen
Gorgeist.
Lucia 1978 says that I cannot show here.
I so hate you. You know, I can't really blame you because I spent too much time nature hunting for Pokemon with decent natures. That's my fault.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says or sleeping at natural. Iceland says Iceland 1 think tech James can get penetrated there's toys for that JS. Gwen Lucia 1978 says
I have
amen.
no idea why you
Oh, hey,
said
that's 15 done.
Gamers Reach says at Iceland VTLMAO. Gwen Lucia 1978 says oh choke on the penetration. Thagamers Reach says Lamfeo. Thagamers Reach says chat I am entertained.
I'm glad you're entertained.
Iceland says you love it here. Iceland says Iceland 1 groovin'. Iceland says, oh, that was you yawning. Iceland says, I thought you were moaning. Iceland says, Jinx LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, Nightmare is probably fascinated by how we push James buttons. Thagamers Reach says, at Iceland VTLMAO.
I have no words for that. I have no comment.
Iceland says, I'm like, calm down.
Dogs.
Thagamers Reach says, Ice is awfully one of my fave mods LUL. Iceland says, Jinx LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, I heard his meow. Thagamers Reach says, besides CC. Iceland says, if you speak cat, I don't know if Urkink is secretly being a furry. Gwen Lucia 1978 says to what? Gwen Lucia 1978 says that dog had too much Red Bull.
I beat it.
Look on top of the pillar.
Wait, let me see. Is that a froggy?
That's a Froakie.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, speak cat to him, Janes. You said you knew how.
You know you can get an alpha one, right?
Thagamers Reach says, James, don't be weird about Gardevoir.
I'll be weird with it if I want. That's Pokemon.
What if it's a male Gardevoir?
It's a female.
But what if it's a male?
Thagamers Reach says, LUL.
Fuck you. Fuck you, bro.
Iceland says,
Oh,
James,
nice
I looking that dog up and down like Avenge 108 Rebecca Gassam. Iceland says, is asterisk. Thagamers Reach says, LMAO Nightmare. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, I hear Simba. Thagamers Reach says, gotta go chat, dinner time.
Take it easy.
Gwen
Have a
Lucia
good dinner.
1978 says, there's a way to look.
Yes, gamer. Take it easy. Thank you for the lurk. Yes, Lysander. I am called ill.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, enjoy your dinner. Iceland says, I am concerned, James. Gwen Lucia 1978 says, me too. Iceland says, we are all here if you need a furry intervention.
Oh, he needs an intervention, alright.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, Simba spoke again. Iceland says, we're having a Pokemon fetish.
Look, I do have a Pokemon fetish problem. I will admit that. Even Nightmare knows this. What's wrong?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, I agree, Ice.
Why do I look like I stole your candy from you?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, I hear Simba, unless that is James speaking. Iceland says, Pokemon made sexy in a hidden folder on James' PC. Iceland says, feels weird, man.
I plead the fifth.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says speak cat. Iceland says Gwen find it and do a reveal later. Okay, feels okay, man.
No.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I will get to the bottom of it. Gwen Lucia 1978 says speak cat.
No, you've been my hand.
Iceland says make sure you add a PowerPoint presentation on which is James type and which isn't. Gwen Lucia 1978 says you lied to me. Gwen Lucia 1978 says you said you could speak cat.
Apologies, guys. Like I said, still not 100%.
Are you alright?
Yeah, just exhausted.
What did I lie? I can't speak cat. I understand Simba.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you said you could speak cat to me and lied.
I didn't lie, I spoke the truth.
I don't know. I think it was a lie.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I have been in bed all day.
Why is Simba here? Simba. You don't think I can speak to you? Well, we know the truth.
Iceland says most lawyers lie and James is one of those. Gwen Lucia 1978 says
Oh, wow. Wow.
Cool, I got my
Actually,
calendar
Gwen
sticking.
Lucia 1978 says because he is part of our family. Iceland says even talks too much revealing secrets.
Oh gosh.
Sinful _ pixels says at Nightmare Rising got more squashies.
You'd be wanting to say something.
I need more squashies. You're not fair to me.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says what?
This is a
Sinful
Wendy's.
_ pixels says the
Family-friendly
original
place.
ones.
I know. Those are my favorites too.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Squashies are a treat. Candy, James.
Iceland says remind
Sir,
never
this
to
is
have you as a lawyer.
Wendy's. I'm just being an
Sinful
asshole.
_ pixels says at Retro Lionheart they're
I
sweets.
know, I'm just being an asshole.
Sinful _ pixels says so,
wow,
as usual.
I'm actually a really good legal representative. I'm actually a really good one. I've actually helped a lot of people, especially with their social security.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you say that when showing doctors.
What do you mean, as usual, babe?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says big time. Gwen Lucia 1978 says be nice to Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm being nice to Nightmare. I'm still not feeling 100%. I couldn't even stream last night. I even tried. I just couldn't do it. I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did. Yeah.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says be gentle with him,
Just
James.
acknowledged it. Even you know. I am Gwen. I'm not being mean.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you got some treatment from me. Gwen Lucia 1978 says no doctoral treatment.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a kinky or not.
I have no comment to that. I'm not even gonna ask. What the hell? Karnari? Who's Karnari?
Canary?
Yeah.
You'll find out here soon.
She looks like an electric type user. Just from her outfit and the way she looks.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says from me I am trying to avoid violating
Jeez,
TOS.
bro. This character is like
Gwen Lucia 1978 says husband-wife treatment.
this Canary person. Just checking my message. Wait, did I read that correctly? Huh. I see it's in the. Sheesh. I swear, my family asks too much of me.
So we got Frostlass, Altaria,
Iceland says
And
Bahumat time.
Venusaur.
Nice. Bahamut
Iceland
time.
says Iceland one
Nice.
dance.
That's still one of my usernames. Currently,
Gwen Lucia 1978 says make
in
sense,
the process
James.
of being unsuspended.
Iceland says Bahamut 8.
Now what?
Iceland says I can't spell. Iceland says I can't read.
You can spell, you
Iceland
can
says send
read.
help.
Don't put yourself down.
Iceland says Jinx LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says ignore them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna delete these messages. I don't got time for that.
I think the messages were meant as a joke, James.
Gwen Lucia
I'm talking about the
1978
ones
says
in
yeah, that's
chat.
what James and I
I'm
had.
talking about the ones in my Gmail.
Oh.
I said just.
Iceland says I want to pretend to not spell and read and speak English.
No comprendo inglés.
No comprendes. Yo hablo español también, cabrón.
No comprendo español either.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says no. Gwen Lucia 1978 says save them.
Save them? Well, I haven't deleted them yet. So I'll just save them.
Gwen Lucia
I
1978
will.
says save them.
Tú hablas
Iceland says
español,
no
cabrón.
comprando.
No me dices mentiras.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says save them. Gwen Lucia 1978 says bring them to me.
No comprendo.
Iceland says no hablo español.
Muy poquito español.
I love my chat. They're amazing people. Can't say the same for some people in my family. So how long you want to stream, brother?
I know the podcast is in 2 hours, but the question is whether or not I can.
Iceland says no hablo inglés.
Then we'll stream for 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours longer. Because I'm going to be watching the podcast. Do I have to be a part of it?
No. Just gotta keep an eye on chat. Oh, you do know your role with the podcast, right?
Was not informed what my role was.
Your role is moderator for all the podcasts.
Okay, then in 2 hours we raid out. Do you have an idea who we raid out in 2 hours? No, I have any guess.
Well, we're raiding out to the podcast.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. That makes everything better. That makes everything easier. Yeah, you're her fan, aren't you?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says let me deal with your
He's
family.
not gonna give me any intel. I don't need his intel. I can just tell she's an electric type trainer.
Sinful _ pixels says got a nice
Anyone
mint
who
hot chocolate.
streams, plays video games
That sounds
in
good,
the
babe.
Pokemon world is an electric type trainer. By the way, Simple Pixel, have you ever tried Dubai chocolate? Someone just sent me some today. Oh my god, it is so good. Someone was
Gwen
kind
Lucia
enough to send me some Dubai
1978 says
chocolate.
and that is how you almost got a naughty word on your cake, buddy. Sinful _ pixels says have I tried what? Sorry.
Dubai chocolate. And that is how you almost got a naughty word on your cake. Look, that was an accident.
Gwen Lucia
Gwen.
1978 says
That
I
was
thought
an
you couldn't eat
accident.
chocolate anymore.
Okay, I made a tiny mistake. Okay? That
Fire
was
the
not
loophole.
my fault.
Sinful _ pixels says me. I can.
They gave me a little bit of Dubai chocolate. It was a little bit too sweet for me, but I was able to eat it. It wasn't that bad. I just can't have.
Sinful underscore
thick
pixels says I
chocolate.
haven't tried the Dubai chocolate. No. Gwen Lucia 1978 says no, you use a certain word around me a kid. Iceland says someone gave me candy. Iceland says a stranger gave you candy.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
It's one of my viewers.
Iceland says was in a white van down by the river under the gorge.
It's one of my viewers. I'm not gonna give out the name because I.
Pay attention to chat.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says that sounds similar to Kabaron meaning heart.
No. No.
Iceland says James is a bad boy.
Oh my god.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says yep.
I plead the fifth. Why does Tuna always have a weird hairdo? Sounds like a loyal fan to me. Again, I plead the fifth.
Iceland says overruled.
You're not a judge.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says did I use the wrong one now? Iceland says Gwen is her wife and judge over her existence.
Oh wow, that went. that went into shock mode. That shocked me right there. Just that comment alone.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says now I have to listen to Bale Amos.
Oh goodness. I have a parody to Bailamos.
Iceland says remember James you have no say when Gwen and I are here in chat.
That's what it's starting to look like, guys. I have no say. It literally is looking like I don't have any say in the matter. Oh. Oh. My head just gave out for some odd reason. Oh.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I second that.
Of course. Of course you do, Glenn. But then again, I don't have a say. So, how do we get to
Gwen Lucia 1978 says ice, ice, baby.
I'm doing horrible.
How are you doing horrible?
I'm just not able to maneuver like I normally do.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says hi somehow. Mommy is in the box.
Ouch. What the hell was that?
That was my controller.
Why was it vibrating like, you know what? I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. I'm not even gonna fucking finish that sentence. I came close to saying something completely fucking stupid. Yes, Senpai, no.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says have you been to a doctor?
Have I been to a doctor? No.
I have.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says let us wonder.
You know, somebody, I cannot have a gaming chair because you'll tear it apart. So I'm stuck with this wooden chair with a blanket on it. Let us wonder. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys wonder. So that's
Gwen
Lena,
Lucia 1978
that's,
says maybe it is a wife
forgot
toy.
his name, and the other girl is Tuna.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says toy. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I think you need to see One Nightmare.
I know what's wrong with me. There's just nothing I can do about it.
What do you mean there's nothing you can do about
Gwen
it?
Lucia 1978
Unless you have a
says
way to
James, call me on
magically get
Discord
rid
Live.
of stress.
Are you on Discord Live? Like right now? I can't do that right now.
There we go. Yeah, you can. Or they could just call in.
Yeah, I think that'll be better if they just call in. Holy crappers, I'm nearly 9 hours into this stream with
Gwen
two
Lucia
people.
1978 says point made. Iceland says got all summons now I need to find all Chocobo Woods. Iceland says Iceland 1 groovin'. Gwen Lucia 1978 says yes.
Which one? Which game? Ice, which game did you got all the summons in? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Which one?
Iceland says FF3.
Ah,
Iceland says bruh.
3.
Iceland says I've been saying FF3.
I know, but you also been saying 7.
Iceland
here
says
and there
feels
too,
weird man.
So I'm trying to figure out which one you're retiring. Plus you said 1 through 6. So I'm trying to figure out if you're playing multiple games. I've done
Iceland
that
says
myself.
talks too much and we have to listen.
I literally had 2 switches where I played.
I know, he don't listen.
I do listen.
Iceland says but when he listens he doesn't pay attention.
I have been paying attention. But you also said 1 through 6 and then FF7.
Sinful _ pixels says gag him.
Yeah, Kim. Huh?
I only do that with you, babe.
Iceland says I said I'm platting 1 to 6. Iceland says not playing. Iceland says SMH. Sinful underscore pixels says Sinful 183 bat love.
Oh, I misread that, so I'm dumb. Sorry, I misread that, so that's me being dumb.
Sinful underscore pixels says I can't be arsed to sleep.
Why not? Huh?
Sinful underscore pixels says brain wants to write. Gwen Lucia 1978 says my phone won't call you and you deleted my Discord.
Why'd you delete her Discord, James?
I didn't delete her Discord. I don't delete stuff off her phone. That's one thing I never do.
Sinful underscore pixels says oh. Sinful underscore pixels says is someone going to get hit with a shoe?
I hope
Lucia
so.
1978 says it ain't on this phone.
I don't know, but I didn't delete it. That's one thing I do not mess with. I do not mess with your phone.
Sinful underscore pixels says I love squashies, so good.
They are good. I'm jealous now.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says well you can reinstall it later.
That's fine. I think what happened is when you were deleting apps, like the game apps that were installing by themselves.
Gamers Reach says
you
I'm back.
accidentally
Mortals
deleted
LUL
it,
dinner
'cause
was
I
good.
don't delete stuff off your phone. That's something I never do.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I just wanted to say hi to everyone and see if Simba tries to save me from the box. Sinful underscore pixels says I give up with idiots.
Who did what this time, babe?
Sinful underscore pixels says Meg's ex texted her. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Simba told you call mommy. Gamers Reach says at Sinful underscore pixels I gave up a long time ago. Sinful underscore pixels says, I know you miss me, that's why you are with
That was
Ruby.
right. She is an
Sinful
original.
underscore pixels says Meg hasn't even bothered replying.
I know you miss me, that's why you're with Ruby? You know what? Tell Meg the response needs to be, I miss you with every fucking shot so far.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I'm glad you had a good dinner gamer. Gamers Reach says at Sinful underscore pixels sounds like they are playing
And by
hard
the
to
way,
get.
I just remembered that,
Gamers Reach says also damn nightmare LUL.
It's not playing hard to
Sinful
get,
underscore
it's
pixels
playing
says at the
stupid.
Gamers Reach what did you have? Gamers Reach says that was dark.
Oh, trust me, it wasn't dark enough. If you guys knew the exact...
When Lucia1978 says narcissist, don't respond.
No, you respond
Fake
with,
Amber's
I
Reach says
missed
at
you
sinful
with every
underscore
shot
pixels,
so
though I
far.
stopped giving AF with stupid people.
I am not narcissistic. At least I hope I'm not.
Sinful underscore pixels says at the Gamer's Reach he broke up with Meg because she's disabled. Yes, that's the reason, and now he's upset because Meg doesn't reply. Gwen Lucia1978 says not you dumbass.
Was that what I thought it is?
Thay Gamer's Reach says bruh can I slap him in the face?
Get in line.
What do I do now? Why is everyone mad?
Thay Gamer's Reach says bet nightmare. Sinful underscore pixels says he's sent her spicy pics. He sent her gifts and offered to do XYZ that's not stream friendly. Thay Gamer's Reach says he was talking to me. Sinful underscore pixels says at the Gamer's Reach go for it. Gwen Lucia1978 says, I hope I am not narcissistic. Thay Gamer's Reach says James Nightmare was talking to me not you. Gwen Lucia1978 says not you dumbass.
Chat's going crazy. Chat's going wild. I must have said something dumb.
Thay Gamer's Reach says LMAO. Gwen Lucia1978 says what's new. Thay Gamer's Reach says all because you said dumb shit James. Thay Gamer's Reach says LUL.
Man, that sounds about right, gamer. I'm not surprised I say dumb shit all the time. I said dumb shit all the time, boy. That's because I don't know when to shut my mouth.
Sinful underscore pixels says she just doesn't reply to him at all, even after he said he wants a Batman cup back, which he got back, and literally cried because Meg left it on the doorstep. Thay Gamer's Reach says I had a hamburger with asparagus for dinner BTW. Gwen Lucia1978 says Simba, mommy wants to say hi to you. Sinful underscore pixels says at the Gamer's Reach oh sounds nice. Thay Gamer's Reach says hi Simba Sukas wave.
Nice.
Thay Gamer's Reach says at sinful underscore pixels it was good trust.
See, Simba, everyone loves you. They don't come here to see me, they came here to see you. And night.
Sinful underscore pixels says sounds it.
There we go.
I'm just
That is 2 of the 3 mega rogue megas down. They also gave me the Frostlossite. Going to bed.
Yes, and please, Mom said please don't.
Sinful underscore pixels says as for my own ex, he's just stupid. Gwen Lucia1978 says meow, me.
Can I get a pee and hug?
I'm still streaming, but yeah, real quick. I'm hurting, so be careful.
My too.
Love you, Papa. Will you quit farting in my office?
No.
Thay Gamer's Reach says LMAO.
Ow! Ow!
That's what you get for farting. Stop.
Thay
You
Gamer's
bouncing
Reach
on my
says
leg.
LUL.
Stop. Love you, Papa.
Love you.
I'll stop when you stop. Stop.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says at least he
Two.
doesn't blame his flatulence on the cat.
One.
James. Sinful
I had to
underscore
stop at
pixels
the
says
last
also,
second 'cause I
neat,
still wanted
sent
to
home
talk.
from school again today.
What for this time? Get off.
Okay.
Night night.
Good night.
I could have been with Nana today, but I couldn't have.
Thaygamers Reach says oh boy.
Up at Nana's Happy.
Sinful underscore pixels says oh boy indeed.
The fuck did she get sent home for now?
Sinful underscore pixels says refusing to change for sports with the boys.
No, you don't fucking put them in the same dressing room.
Thaygamers Reach says Retrol 45 Zimshocked I don't wanna ask.
Wait, what?
Sinful underscore pixels says she asked if she could go to the girls' toilets.
Oh.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says WTF. Thaygamers Reach says Gwen I am disturbed
No,
too.
that got me to shut up.
Sinful underscore pixels says in the UK, up until they're 10, it's not illegal but it's weird. Sinful underscore pixels says in my opinion it's very weird.
It is very weird.
Thaygamers Reach says dystopian UK. Gwen Lucia 1978 says in a wrongful scenario waiting to happen.
I got no comment.
Sinful underscore pixels says apparently because she was just dressing down to her underwear, it's fine.
That's not fine.
Sinful underscore pixels says I'd feel so uncomfortable if it was me, so I can understand her discomfort.
Yeah.
That makes me feel uncomfortable.
Thaygamers Reach says that's my comment I stand by dystopian UK. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I can understand. Sinful underscore pixels says at the Gamers Reach agreed.
I'm not arguing with that, Dane Gamer. I am not arguing with that at all.
Sinful underscore pixels says so, she was sent home and is supposed to write her teacher an apology. Sinful underscore pixels says my brother is livid.
I think it needs to be the opposite fucking way around. The teacher owes her an apology.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says for example James says I have an hourglass figure.
I would ask what's wrong with the world, but I already know.
Thaygamers Reach says James check your phone I have a question.
I don't think I need to make any comment.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says if I was dressing with boys they might be eyeing me. Sinful underscore pixels says brothers already told her not to apologize.
Give me a second.
Sinful underscore pixels says at Gwen Lucia 1978 which is so uncomfortable. Icelinv says yes we know you have evidence of part of the reason why. Icelinv says feels weird man. Thaygamers Reach says it's a Twitch term question.
I've said it before, it shouldn't be a problem. I've actually said it multiple times on my stream. Just be careful how the context you use it in.
Sinful underscore pixels says so, she was told to change with the boys, do sports in full school uniform or she'd be sent home. Sinful underscore pixels says she was sent home. Gwen Lucia 1978 says James how long you gonna stream for? Thaygamers Reach says okay UK is basically living in a dictatorship. Sinful underscore pixels says at the Gamers Reach agreed. Thagamers Reach says North Korea
I have a
2.0.
viewer from the UK, and he tells me that because of the UK laws, he can't even watch certain things on YouTube, so he just started watching Twitch. And I was
Sinful
like, well,
underscore pixels says I
you're
hate
not
the
gonna have
ID
any
request that
problems
I
here.
have to fill out if I
Not
want to
yet,
upload
anyway.
books that are 18 plus.
Yeah, this guy is like, I
Gwen
think in
Lucia
his
1978 says Earth to
20s, and they
James.
want his ID.
Thagamers Reach says
They
at
want his
sinful underscore
identification
pixels don't comply.
papers.
Hey, James, you going to answer your wife?
Give me 1 second. Earth to James.
Sinful underscore pixels says at the gamers reach I don't. I like my privacy. Iceland says I thought you were gonna see poor asterisk. Thagamers Reach says at sinful underscore pixels same here.
I'm
Iceland
bad
says
at
feels
that,
weird man.
Unless I'm modding for Gwen when she's playing Texas Tuesday. I'm going to be streaming until the podcast starts, which Nightmare
Thagamers
has the
Reach
time,
says you're good James.
timeline on.
Iceland says it.
Another hour and a half.
Iceland says we are ignored.
And so another hour and a half we're going to be streaming, and then we're both going
Thagamers Reach says right ice.
You're ignored. You're
LUL.
not ignored. I'm just a dumbass. My dumbass doesn't pay attention half the time. No one clicked
Sinful
that.
underscore pixels
No
says
one
at the
clicked
gamers
me
reach I get
admitting
around
that.
it but I shouldn't have to just because parents cannot parent. Gwen Lucia 1978 says when you and Nightmare are done could you play Tetris? Thagamers Reach says at sinful underscore pixels Lamudo James.
Could you play Tetris?
Thagamers Reach says sorry wrong at.
Me and you or you and Nightmare? Because I'm going to be reading to the podcast. If you want to stream later, you're welcome to.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says whoever. Sinful underscore pixels says I'm sorry but I think it's up to parents to check what kids watch / do on the internet.
Oh, it
Not up to
is.
an already bypassed / skipped ID check. Thagamers Reach says at sinful underscore pixels I was wondering how you bypass it. Sinful underscore pixels says at the gamers reach people were using other people's IDs or even images made by AI, etc. to get verified. Thagamers Reach says I don't know if you know this James but YouTube is age restricting video game violence on YouTube. Gwen Lucia 1978 says Nightmare doesn't sound too good so I don't think he would have the energy to continue when you are done.
Let me know. You guys can do a texture stream. It doesn't matter what day it's on. It's whenever Nightmare has the ability to and wants to. I don't see why not. I mean, technically, this is not just my channel. We are the Lionheart family, after all.
And I do apologize for everybody for me being so silent. Just with them yelling constantly and me just, I'm not feeling the greatest.
Sinful underscore pixels says it wouldn't take much for someone to take someone's ID, take a photo and upload it, pretending it's their own and there we go, bypassed. Gwen Lucia 1978 says that is why I was asking if I could do one with you or by myself. Thagamers Reach says you're good Nightmare don't worry. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I understand Nightmare. Thagamers Reach says James you're always obnoxious. Thagamers Reach says LUL.
Attention to chat. You're not wrong, gamer. You're not wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be lying if I claimed otherwise.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says you have enough going on in your life and there is no cure for stress.
No, I need to find a battle this thing.
Sinful underscore pixels says at Nightmare Rising hugs babe. Gwen
Thanks,
Lucia
bro.
1978 says I was about to write it but gamer beat me.
Let's switch to this Pokemon.
Sinful underscore Pixels says at Nightmare Rising Ruby says hi.
Hi, Ruby.
Oh, stretchy. Stretchy.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says we all give you hugs Nightmare.
Thank you,
Sinful
guys.
underscore Pixels says Meg has a nasty infection in the wound, so extra careful.
I'm alright, Simba. It's Nightmare I'm worried about. It's Nightmare that you should be worried about too.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says Simba say something to
I will be
Nightmare.
playing my Switch 2 version, just not this version. But I'm playing it offline because he's doing the Switch 2 version. So, Nightmare, Pokemon question.
What's
Gwen
up?
Lucia 1978 says tell Simba to say something to Nightmare.
No, not really.
Is this Raptor
Sinful
Bros
underscore
with the same
Pixels
sword?
says at Nightmare Rising I'll send you all the candies cooking to make you feel better 3.
Oh, God, no.
What happened now?
Gwen Lucia
You're supposed to be trying to make me
1978
feel
says Earth
better,
to
not
James.
worse.
Hey, Candy always makes people feel better. She just loves you.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, like chocolate.
Thay Gamers Reach
No.
says LOL James you're a terrible host.
No.
Sinful underscore Pixels says I never said I'd cook
Do
it.
you remember that one
Gamers Reach
UK
says
cook
LUL.
that I
Gwen
was
Lucia
showing you?
1978 says Earth to James.
Okay. Earth to James. Yes, Gwen? Tell Simba to say hi to me.
Sinful underscore Pixels says at Retro
Okay, yeah,
Lionheart
it's-
O. Can I send you a DM?
And say hi to Nightmares. He's meowing. Look at the camera. Simba, look at the camera. Look.
Hi, Simba.
Please say hi to you.
Sinful underscore Pixels says I have a nice video to send you XD.
You can send me messages anytime you want.
Don't say
I'm
that.
not mistaken.
Don't say that. It's a trap.
What do you mean?
Thay Gamers
She's my
Reach says
friend.
oh boy. Gwen Lucia 1978 says he meowed twice James. Thay Gamers Reach
Yes,
says
he
I'm
did
concerned.
meow. He actually meowed 3 times. Battle time! You're concerned? I have no idea why. He meowed twice. Yeah, I already read that. Oh, crappers. Earthquake! Oh.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says his way of saying get better Nightmare.
Flamethrower.
Thay Gamers Reach says I'm talking about pixels. Thay Gamers Reach says LUL.
Pixel. What about Pixel? She didn't do anything wrong.
Thay Gamers Reach says the video she's sending you. Thay Gamers
That's
Reach
why
says
I
I'm
have
concerned
AI to
LUL.
filter photos
Sinful
and
underscore
pictures
Pixels says
and
XD.
videos.
Sinful underscore Pixels says be
It knows
concerned.
what to look for.
Thay Gamers Reach says I am very concerned LUL.
If I'm not mistaken, the AI that I have belongs to Techno himself.
Iceland says you have photos and videos, oh hell nah. Thay Gamers Reach says LMAO Ice.
Oh, this thing's dead.
Iceland says you don't have of as well James. Iceland says scaredy cat. Thay Gamers Reach says Lumfeu.
Nobody would sign up for that
Thay
OnlyFans.
Gamers Reach says Ice is so unhinged I love
What
it.
is that?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he has an AI called Ultronus.
What is OnlyFans?
Thay Gamers Reach says agreed Nightmare. Iceland says true.
Hold on a second. Let me Google it.
Iceland says even I wouldn't. Thay Gamers Gamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 Retrol 45 Zims Hawked I have serious questions. Sinful_Pixels says at the Gamers Reach if I knew your Discord, I'd send it to you too. Tongue sticking out. Gwen Lucia 1978 says don't play dumb. They Gamers Reach says at Sinful_Pixels it's same as here and I'm deaf concerned LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says we have talked about it before.
And is mostly widely known for hosting. I'm done. No, I'm fucked.
Iceland says I thought I read Ultra Anus Jinx LUL. Gwen Lucia 1978 says my mother warned us about it. They Gamers Reach says at Iceland VT good lord LUL.
I am
Sinful_Pixels says at the Gamers Reach I'm guessing we don't have Discords in common.
No, I'm not
Subface.
acting. No.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he is acting everyone. Iceland says no wonder penis and penetrator comes out of his mouth.
Thank you, Ice. Thank you so much.
They Gamers Reach says at Sinful_Pixels nope I'm careful of my circle because reasons.
I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
Sinful_Pixels says at the Gamers Reach AHH fair enough, smiley face. Gwen Lucia 1978 says he told me if I got enough he would leave me.
Only if I get your video game collection.
Sinful_Pixels says sorry, I am just nosy, can take it a bit far. They Gamers Reach says LMAO nightmare.
I
They
forgot what
Gamers
she
Reach
was
says at
talking about. Now I
Sinful_Pixels you're
remember.
good no worries.
No, she said do not get a Fansly and an OnlyFans, and she never explained why.
You forgot. A former contractor said that I had one.
Okay.
I didn't know what the hell it was.
Okay, let me explain something to you. She said that people who get it regret it. She never specifically told us why, other than people regretted it. That's all she said to us.
Watch YouTube videos about it, you dumbass.
I wasn't paying. You know what? This is why I need to pay attention. You know what? Ice is right, and so are you. I don't pay
They
attention.
Gamers Reach says LMAO Gwen.
You watch one of
Sinful_Pixels
This is why
says
I need to
LMAO.
pay attention.
Yeah, no shit.
Because I don't know half the stuff you guys are watching, and I'm over here playing a Pokemon game.
Iceland
Say,
says you
yep,
deaf don't.
Yep, you're right.
They Gamers Reach says
and I'm not
LMAO.
even paying attention to what the fuck you're watching.
Videos, we watched some guy who's from
Iceland says I feel bad for Gwen. They Gamers Reach says same.
Those videos are fake. Those are stories that are made up by
They
people
Gamers
to
Reach
get
says
views.
Gwen doesn't get paid enough for his BSLUL.
Oh.
Sinful_Pixels says at Nightmare Rising my dog
No,
gave me
she
a sock.
doesn't get paid to deal with my.
Please tell me it wasn't your brothers.
I don't pay attention to. You know what? You know what? You're right. Iceland's right, and so is your mom. I have a short attention span.
Sinful_Pixels says no, mine.
No one
Okay.
clipped that.
They Gamers
No.
Reach says at Sinful_Pixels LMAO.
We were watching videos about that. I've seen
Sinful_Pixels says I'd be cleaning my floor if it was my brother's. Sinful_Pixels says no
your
one
mother
wants that
says if
crusty,
you do,
nasty
I would.
thing.
I was like, why would I? And she goes, trust me, you would.
Simba.
Here, I'll take them to you. I don't want you to run.
It is pretty weak.
Okay, well, make sure you're covered.
Iceland says those videos are for clout but half the time to almost all are actual satanic but no one understands.
Of the time, almost
They
all
Gamers
actual
Reach says
Satan-
https://www.twitch.tv/retrolionheart/clip/hypergorgeous monkey rgi EVA-hyphen AZPR3ZKE_7QK20SW2 late James LUL. They Gamers Reach says you're welcome Gwen LUL.
Don't miss the camera. Alright? I don't.
Here we go,
Iceland
that's
says
Mega
who have zero
Altaria done.
understanding and social media just does it anyways as a joke until they get an attachment or worse. They Gamers Reach says Lumfeo.
don't know if your
CC1230
towels
says
were full.
WTF is going
Don't
on.
ask questions,
Hey
CC.
Gamers Reach says hi
Yeah,
CC.
You don't want to know. Damn it!
She doesn't want to know what?
The madness that's going on. I just
CC
found out what
1230 says
OnlyFans
gamer.
really does.
Sinful underscore pixels says hi.
Pretended not to know.
No,
Hey,
I did
Gamers
not know
Reach
at all,
says you
'cause I
don't
wasn't
wanna
paying
know CC.
attention to what you and your adopted mother watch.
She forgot that our contractor
Hey
threatened
Gamers
to
Reach
tell
says
my boss
LMFAO.
that I had an OnlyFans account and
I
didn't know
even
what the
I
hell
even
OnlyFans
asked you
was.
what the fuck was that. You said I don't know, and then it was your mother that explained it to you. Your adopted
Hey Gamers
mother.
Reach says
And
Retrol
I was just
45 Zims hawk.
listening, not paying attention.
CC1230
I don't
says
pay
OMG
attention to
you
half
don't
the
even
crap
know
that
what of his
goes on.
James.
Half the shit that I put
LMAO.
on YouTube
Hey
says
Gamers
watch
Reach
this.
says Retrol 45 Zims hawk Retrol 45
Does that
Zims
sound like
hawk
someone who's
Retrol
paying
45 Zims
attention?
hawk.
No, and I've told you as much. and you
Iceland
denied
says
it.
even challenges it's
Until now.
dangerous and no one knows it's dangerous until someone
You
gets
just
hurt or
made- you just
dies.
made your own bed there, buddy.
Sinful underscore
Yeah,
pixels
now
says at
everyone knows I
Nightmare
don't pay
Rising you are
attention
welcome
half the
3.
damn time.
CC1230 says oh boy LUL.
What did I- You didn't
Hey
do
Gamers
nothing.
Reach says at CC1230 he's an old
nothing. My
fossil what do
dumbass
you
don't-
expect?
My dumbass got caught not paying
CC1230
attention.
says what did I do?
Yes.
CC1230 says CC18 LMAO.
Is right
Hey
there.
Gamers Reach says LMFAO.
You admitted to
Iceland
the
says
war
at
that you don't
CC1230 we don't want you involved that's all.
No, Simba, no.
Hey Gamers Reach says at Iceland VT what Ice said. Iceland says at CC1230 you arrived in an unhinged moment.
Go turn on the air conditioner.
Hey Gamers Reach says CC1230 says why not? LOL.
Trust me, CC.
CC1230 says gamer, text me.
To half of anything.
He was pretending not to know what OnlyFans was.
No, I was not pretending not to know that. I was letting you know that I actually wasn't paying attention to what you watch.
Hey Gamers Reach says at CC1230 James is just being a grandpa.
James is just being a grandpa.
Hey
Fuck you.
Gamers Reach says that's all you need to know. Hey Gamers Reach says LMFAO. CC1230 says at Iceland VT it's always unhinged here LMAO.
I still don't feel
Hey Gamers Reach says I'm not wrong.
Side of your friggin' camera.
Well, just to be safe, because look, after what I dealt with yesterday, I do not want to take chances. After what I dealt with yesterday, I do not want to take any chances.
Iceland says James is risking his marriage RN.
It's not that.
Sinful underscore pixels says I'm too lazy to get up. Hey Gamers Reach says oof. Iceland says Jinx LUL. CC1230 says what a
And
gentleman
no, I
James.
wasn't pretending to not know what anything is. I just wasn't paying attention, so you caught me not actually paying attention to what you're doing, what you're watching, and me playing a video game. Yes, that's interesting. Like a dumbass.
You let me finish.
Hey
I got
Gamers Reach
caught.
says oh duddo.
Something that happened, mind you, without any names or anything else that won't cause
Hey
any
Gamers Reach says James being a
Something that
grandpa.
happened when we were getting work done on our house, you know, like,
I'll tell her the story because I remember it like it was yesterday. When we were getting our house done and worked on, our contractor acted really funky and weird. So we reported him, and he acted even more sus, and literally told Gwen, if you don't stop telling lies, I'll tell your boss you have OnlyFans. And I asked Gwen, what the hell is that? And her adopted mother said, it's something you don't want.
no.
I exactly remember it.
Hey
'cause
Gamers Reach
I
says oh
actually
duddo.
Have the text messages if you let me finish.
I'm not getting into this conversation.
Good.
Hey Gamers Reach says this is not normal chat.
Caught it.
As I was trying to say, the thing was, long story short, when this contractor was not doing their job, and so on and so on, and we reported.
All of a sudden, you have a good memory when it comes to
CC1230 says how many men has this been going on for?
I have a good
LOL.
memory when it comes to certain things, especially things I have a friggin' text.
Iceland says James needs more balls in his life.
Thing is,
Thagamers Reach says at CC1230 10 to 15 minutes.
anyway,
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT Lumfeu.
reporting this person for not doing their what they contracted to do. We were taking this person to court and so on and so on. We filed a court case against this person. This person sent me to a
CC1230 says, happy face.
text messages
that's when your Dr. Mo says you don't want to know.
Sinful
don't
underscore
worry about
pixels
it.
says at Nightmare Rising love you, going to lurk for a bit.
And I told
Iceland
you, I
says he
don't
needs
know.
that
I don't
master
pay
ball
attention to
most.
that stuff.
Iceland
too,
says
babe.
Iceland 1 groovin. Sinful underscore pixels says I do need to attempt sleep at some point.
No, your adopted mother says something that people do that can get them, you know, either fired or their lives ruined. See, you don't even remember what
Gamers
happened.
Reach says at CC1230 check your phone LUL.
How many chemicals I've been exposed to my entire life without getting.
Just leave it at that, please.
I wasn't gonna say anything beyond that. I was going to say.
Gwen, I'm literally going to end stream if you don't stop.
Gamers
And I
Reach
didn't
says
capture
sleep.
it. That's
What's
lovely.
that?
Now I might have to add the VOD. Great.
Iceland says you know what I say.
I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
Gamers Reach says you okay James? Iceland says who gives a quack so don't look back. Iceland
No, it's
says
just that
people
she
happy.
has a bad memory, and what happened was one of our contractors said that if you don't stop reporting me for not doing the job that you paid us to do, I'll tell your boss that you have an OnlyFans. And she said, "What's an OnlyFans?" And I told her I don't know. Her adopted mother said, and I'm quoting her adopted mother, something that ruins people's lives, careers, and destroys relationships.
It can if people
We
if
left it at that.
again it can if people are
Gamers
not
Reach says
comfortable
yep.
with it.
Yeah. So I told her, okay, fine. I never bothered to look it up until now. So she tends to not remember things correctly because for whatever reason she can remember certain things but not everything, and I have to correct her most of the time. There it is. And I might have to add this VOD. Because I don't think people want to hear me arguing with her just because she has a bad memory. Which she has admitted before.
Gamers Reach says camera upped on water o.o. Gwen Lucia 1978 says why might you have to do that? Gamers Reach says why didn't it die? Gamers Reach says LUL.
Yeah, I'm going to have to edit this VOD down to, I'm going to have to edit out a lot of stuff. Because I don't know if this is going to cause a problem.
Iceland says it's up to you.
I'm already dealing with enough issues. And just so you guys are aware, I don't pay attention
Iceland
to
says
stuff
I don't
like
care what unhinged moments goes on here.
I don't bother researching it. I don't bother looking into it because I don't even
Gamers Reach says I'm always on my phone if you need to
care
talk
about
James.
social media. Like I've heard Stonebones talk about he has an OnlyFans page, and he tried to get the name Stonebones but couldn't because it was already taken. I was like, oh, okay, so he has one. So I don't know anything about it, other than what I've heard from other streamers that it could be used for this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool, but never did I ever imagine that.
Gwen
it would
Lucia
be used for something
1978
that
says I have
graphic.
epilepsy, anxiety, and stress-induced memory lapses.
I mean, in all honesty, I never knew that it would actually be used for something that graphic. I mean, with everything that's going on, you would think that stuff like that would be controversial.
Nope.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says which have all been diagnosed by doctors.
You're kidding, Nightmare.
Here's the thing, dude. It's consenting adults.
So you're telling me that there's this social media platform. Well, there, Gwen already answered that. I don't have to explain further. But let's get off this topic because I'm not happy right now. I am not happy. I'm angry.
Iceland says Amanda Bynes has of, but she stated it's not gonna be for anything sexual but her recovery and weight loss journey.
Why does the name sound familiar? Amanda Bynes.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now I know who she is.
Iceland says
That
everything
sounded
is for
very
some reason,
familiar.
whether
I
good or
wasn't
bad.
Sure.
Iceland says Amanda show. Iceland says she's all that.
The Amanda show.
Iceland
she's
says etc.
all that. Okay, I remember now. Now I
When
remember.
Lucia
Thank you,
1978
Iceland.
says please tell
Thank
me you aren't
I
going to have
forgot
to
who
edit
she
UT.
was.
No, you don't have to edit anything. Trust me, there's plenty of content creators that have one anymore.
What, so you just want me to leave the video just raw and unedited?
Yeah, just leave it.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says James, did you hear that?
I mean, technically I do this for a hobby anyways.
Iceland says honestly just be you. Gwen Lucia 1978 says thanks Nightmare.
I am being me. This is the thing is, and I'll make this sound quick, chat. When we were told about stuff like this, her adopted mother explained to her that it's something that she never wants. And I just left it at that. I never
Iceland
bothered
says
to
you already
research it.
said penis
that's a-
penetrator and get those balls
but-
out of my face 100 times in this VOD.
But that's the thing. Hold on. That's the thing. If it's a consenting adult doing it, trust me, it makes a lot of money anyways.
Yeah, but I'm not aware that that's what this stuff does. Like a week ago, someone asked me when I was at a McDonald's that actually watches my streams. Like, do you have a fan
The
sleeve?
Gamers Reach
Like,
says
what the
so
hell is
Nintendo
that?
lost to Pal World
And
Blue.
I never bothered to look that up.
You can have that stuff without making that kind of content.
Sinful
I'm sure you
underscore
can,
pixels
but
says at the
I-
Gamers Reach O.
I don't even want to get involved in social. I have an Instagram and that's about it.
The Gamers Reach says at sinful underscore pixels Iceland says yep.
Ison has a point. You already said penis penetrators and get
Gwen
those
Lucia
balls out of my
1978
face.
says look at what you can do in Nevada.
Okay, you know what the VOD?
Iceland
the VOD's
says
gonna
you can
stay.
have an
VOD's
Insta and be
going nowhere.
provocative.
VOD stays.
Sinful underscore
I'm
pixels says I need to be
My
careful
mods
what I
have the
post and
powers
where
over the
because I share a
VODs.
face. I am
have
a twin.
No authority over the VODs. When and Ice.
The Gamers Reach says it's your
overruled me,
evil
the
twin
VOD
speaking
stays.
LUL.
Unedited, unfiltered, uncensored.
Iceland says you can post bikini lewd pics on Insta.
Yep.
Sinful underscore pixels says at the
can post
Gamers Reach O always.
On Twitch?
Okay.
Iceland
Hold
says
on.
crud shrug. Gwen
What?
Lucia 1978 says and Nightmare has the knowledge. Iceland says I want to see James unedited real and unfilter. The Gamers Reach says James Nintendo lost to Pal World.
I know, I read it. I read it. I know. I was one of the people that forwarded them information on how to win. Myself and a bunch of other people emailed Pal World. Or what's it called? What's the name of that company again?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says oh my Jasmine costume.
I forgot
Thay
the name
Gamers
of it. I
Reach
think
says
it's,
big winning for emulation community.
Creature Creator or something. I forgot. But yeah, a bunch of my old colleagues and I, we emailed them, telling them, hey, you can win this way. But we never got a response. I don't even think they even read their message, but there's a likelihood they possibly did. I'm aware of it.
Gwen Lucia 1978
Actually,
says
I have Power World.
yeah, my Jasmine costume.
I'm gonna stream that.
Thay Gamers Reach says
you know what I'm
Pocket
gonna
Pair.
do? Fuck it, I'm gonna stream Power World and then Pokemon. Let's see how that grabs Nintendo.
Thay Gamers Reach says the company's name is Pocket Pair. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I can post that. Thay Gamers Reach says to despite Nintendo? LMAO. Iceland says heck Twitch does hot tub streams now and girls
Wait,
show almost
what?
100% of their bodies. Thay Gamers Reach says at Iceland VT, surprised face.
Twitch
Gwen
does
Lucia 1978
hot
says
tub
and me in my Jasmine
streams
costume.
Now girls show.
Thay Gamers Reach says since when did Twitch became the hub?
What?
Iceland says they have cleavage out a ton on their hot tub streams cause they in skimpy bikinis. Gwen
They have
Lucia
cleavage
1978 says yeah,
a
yes,
ton on
yes,
their hot tub
yes,
streams
photo
'cause
time.
They in Skippy. What? No, Gwen. No. No, we're not doing that. No, Gwen. No. No. No, no, no. No. I draw the line.
Thay
there.
Gamers Reach says Twitch is the new
No.
of confirmed.
Twitch is the new.
Gwen Lucia
Gosh.
1978 says
Barely
yes.
found out what that actually
Thay
does.
Gamers Reach says at Gwen Lucia 1978 no bad Gwen. Thay Gamers Reach says bad. Iceland says in some do body paint OFC some is done enough so they're TASRNT 100% unpainted but still. Gwen Lucia 1978 says let's do a poll. Thay Gamers Reach says new
Please
Sinful
tell me
_
you're
pixels
trolling
says
me,
and yet if I
Ice.
show underboob and hips, I can get banned as a VTuber XD.
Please tell me
Thay
you're
Gamers
trolling
Reach says I agree on James. Iceland says then there's
No
Kick which
problem.
allows PPL I think to even have S or abuse on their streams. Thay Gamers Reach says at Sinful _ pixels
Oh,
LMAO.
God.
Iceland says I'm not.
Oh, there goes my kick
Thay
account.
Gamers Reach says Ice isn't trolling.
There goes my
Thay
kick
Gamers Reach
account.
says it's true. Iceland says Kick is far worse. Thay Gamers Reach says Lmfeu. Iceland says streamers have died cause they were abusive for money. Thay Gamers Reach says yeah there goes my Kick account
oh my
too.
Goodness.
Sinful _ pixels says Kick would be fine with my completely nude VTuber model. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I have 1 vote so far. Iceland says and once they have died Kick drops them.
Jeez.
Thay Gamers Reach says at Sinful _ pixels LUL.
What the
Gwen
fuck
Lucia
was-
1978 says it's 1-1. Iceland says I'm not joking you can look up the French guy.
I believe you. I'm not going to look it up.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says what do you think Ice? Iceland says he died cause 2 other stream choked HJM threw stuff at him. Iceland says beat him. Iceland says etc. Thay Gamers Reach says at Iceland VTWTF. Sinful _
What
pixels
has
says at Nightmare
happened
Rising
to
Hugs.
our world?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I'm talking about my Jasmine costume. Iceland says he had health issues
Gwen,
and stopped
you are
breathing
not
after
doing
like 8
Princess
days straight of
Jasmine
streaming.
stuff. No.
Thay Gamers Reach says that's fucked
No.
up.
I don't agree to that. You are better than that. You have better
Iceland says the
class than
OFC
that.
got arrested.
You are a lady.
Thagamers Reach says I agree with James.
You are a lady, not an attention nymph. That's the word I'm going to use to avoid TOS. You're not a nymph. You are a lady. Oh, I'm going to crush this child.
Thagamers Reach says James is right, no Gwen. Thagamers Reach says bad taste. Iceland says let Gwen dress up as Jasmine for you personally. James, no further comments or details at this time. Sinful_pixels says actually going to bed, night everyone. Thagamers
You're
Reach
not
says
good,
at
thanks for
Sinful_pixels
stopping in.
GN buddy. Sinful_pixels says at the Gamers Reach thank you, smiley face. Thagamers Reach says, happy face. Gwen Lucia 1978 says good night pixels.
I'm going to barbecue your plant Pokemon.
Thagamers Reach says Zuzu LUL.
Dressed up as Jasmine for you personally, James. No further comment on the team. Oh my goodness, eyes. Oh my neck.
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT this I agree.
Really? You want to challenge moi?
Thagamers Reach says Ice has the right mindset.
Oh, you had to pick that one. I love that one. Yes, she does. Oh, your plant. How lovely. It's gonna die. Yes, Iceland has the right. Yes, she does. What's wrong, Simba?
Iceland says I always do.
Yeah, Simba bailed on me. I know you always do.
Iceland says that's why I have 600 plus likes by men on Bumble within 2 weeks and I barely use it. Iceland says
brat.
Iceland 1 LUL.
What a Bulbasaur?
When Lucia 1978 says I'm confused, James always tells me I have to be fully covered to stream and we move to bikinis are okay?
Really?
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT damn. Thagamers Reach says 600 plus is crazy. Iceland says I only give my attention one guy cause my life is hectic.
Confused. James always tells me I have to be fully covered to stream and we move to bikinis or...
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. I never said that.
Actually, by all definition, in Twitch TOS, bikinis are okay.
Thagamers Reach says you're good nightmare.
My attention, one guy, because my life is hectic. So is ours. No, I always tell you to be fully clothed, Gwen. I never say you could wear bikinis.
Bikinis by Twitch TOS are okay.
I'm not taking any chances. Especially after
Do I need to send?
Thing
Do I
Amherst
need
Reach
to
says
send you
LMAOO.
the channels to prove it?
Iceland says I dropped over 5 guys I was talking to and got 3 on Bumble, not texting anymore, and 1 on the back burner on my phone I lost interest in, but I text still check in on. Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT dating is rough in these times. Thagamers Reach says trust right now I'm just focusing on myself. Thagamers Reach says I'm happily single for now.
I dropped over 5 guys I was talking to and got 3 on a mumble and not texting anymore, and 1 on the back burner on my phone I lost interest in what I teach, but I text still check in on. Interesting.
Iceland says honestly I get guys that chase me too hard, it's smothering, don't date seriously enough, or want to sexualize me only. Iceland says Jinx LUL. Iceland says it is pretty hard. Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VTLUL I call them simps.
Don't date serious enough or want to. I'm not even gonna say that word out loud.
Iceland says I avoid the guys that wanna make me their wife within either seeing me or being with me for a few days.
This is gonna be an interesting 10-hour VOD.
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT I don't blame Yoy. Thagamers Reach says you asterisk. Thagamers Reach says agreed James LUL.
Your frog was no match. Oh, your butterfly's barbecue.
Iceland says I had a guy wanting to put a baby in me after day 3 of having him over my place. Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VTWTF. Iceland says Jinx LUL. Thagamers Reach says I'm sorry you had to deal with that ice. Iceland says I guess I made him hard ring Jinx LUL. Thagamers Reach says you deserve better.
I guess I made him hard. You mean like that item that I found in the final in the Castlevania game, when we all know what it is, and Konami decided to sneak it in the damn game?
Thagamers Reach
Yeah,
says
I know
LUL.
exactly what you're talking about.
Thagamers Reach says Lumfeu. Iceland says I just sat on top of him fully clothed one time, he was hard AF. Themerigan Smoon says just home. Thagamers Reach says hello Moon Sukas Wave. Themerigan Smoon says had the worst wedding.
Oh no, hi Maury.
Hello, welcome in.
Themerigan Smoon says at the Gamers Reach hey, smiley face. Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VTO whoa.
Megaman Moon. Ah, we're having a very interesting chat.
Themerigan's Moon says fucking idiot turned up to his wedding drunk, called her his ex-GF's name. Thagamers Reach says okay, this chat just got interesting. Themerigan's Moon says they still got married. Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon that's fucked up. Iceland says wow Morrigan.
Took him out in one hit.
Iceland says that is fucked up.
Oh goodness.
Iceland says I get that he got drunk and still misses his ex. Thagamers Reach says I'm glad I got better morals than these dumb men. Themerigan's Moon says I officially hate weddings LMAO. Iceland says but they both okay with that and married.
What do you want? Is that time to feed you yet? Is that one of the battle opponents I can find? Oh, there's one with a Clefairy. I'm gonna crush it.
Thagamers Reach says at Iceland VT that pissed me off. Themerigan's Moon says people be people. Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon you deserve more money. Themerigan's Moon says I have given up on humanity XD. Thagamers Reach says dealing with that shit. Themerigan's Moon says at the Gamers Reach I wish.
Oh goodness.
Thagamers Reach says James should have a talk with your boss. Thagamers Reach says LUL. Themerigan's Moon says had a baby photo shoot and that was more enjoyable. Themerigan's Moon says baby vomited everywhere. Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon least there was some peace. Iceland says I mean at my job 80% of parents don't watch their kid and say oh Sarah don't wander from mommy okay? Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon LMAOO. Iceland says as their daughter is 20 feet away.
Okay. Interesting.
Themerigan's Moon says at the Gamers Reach baby vomit I can handle, I have 2 kids, but wedding drama? I am out. Thagamers Reach says this chat is def 18+. Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon LMAO I don't blame you.
Goodness.
Can I catch it?
Probably.
Nope.
Goodness gracious.
Themerigan's Moon says I will never forget my first shit wedding, felt so bad, now I realize that a lot of weddings are great but the bad ones are bad.
Yeah.
Themerigan's Moon says felt so bad for a bride, her head got smashed into the cake and she screeched and cried about it.
Oh, goodness.
Themerigan's Moon says I'd have done the same, so no hate to the bride, but her husband? Nope, hated him. Thagammers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon, poor thing, pensive face. Themerigan's Moon says at the Gamer's Reach, I know, sad face. I felt so bad, went to the bathroom with her to help her get cleaned up. It was a chocolate cake which made it so much worse.
Oh, hey, Mega Fable. Heat crash, and then a fucking rollout, and it was done.
Sinful _ Pixels says woken up by dog wanting a pee.
Nah,
Oh,
no
I'm
chance.
sorry, babe.
Stretchy.
Sinful _ Pixels says he saw it's raining and decided not to go.
Lovely.
How much longer until the podcast?
About half an hour.
Alright, so we ran out in a half hour. What at 6:30 my time, which would be 9:30 your time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thagammers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon I would have gave her a hug. Sinful _ Pixels says cannot wait to finish this chapter.
Well, I bet.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says see what happens when Gwen shuts up, it gets quiet. Rival Lobster says how's it going? Themerigan's Moon says at the Gamer's Reach I honestly didn't know how to react, felt so shit. Thagammers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon, sad face. Themerigan's Moon says she was so upset / hurt and I felt so bad.
It's going, Lobster.
Thagamers
Welcome
Reach says
back,
at the
Lobster.
Morrigan's Moon that makes me so sad.
See what happens when it doesn't get quiet.
Themerigan's Moon says ended up driving her home. Barely knew her but it didn't matter. Not leaving someone behind. Sad face. Thagamers Reach says at rival Lobster greetings mortal. Thagamers Reach says at the Morrigan's Moon she deserves better.
Simba? Ooh, evolution. Now I can mega evolve it. What's this? Let's evolve him.
Themerigan's Moon says at the Gamers Reach I believe she annulled the marriage. At least I hope so.
Oh, my back.
I hope so. Alright, guys, I will be right back. I just have to do something real quick.
Themerigan's Moon says he was a piece of shit. Laughed at her tears. It was so cruel.
Jeez, I've been streaming for 10 hours. $10 straight.
Sinful_pixels says some people disgust me.
What's that sound? Where is it, Simba? Oh, don't worry, Simba. We'll eat together when it's time.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says and you don't want someone to make it run longer.
long string, then just make sure I can last long enough to do them.
Alright, I'm back, guys.
Welcome back.
Why do some people disgust you, hon?
Have you been reading my chat? On your chat too?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I mean me to make it longer rather than raid out.
Oh no, you're good.
Moon says I think my cat is possessed. Themerigan's Moon says she keeps meowing at the freezer. Iceland says oh I forgot I had her stream on. Iceland says I'm super focused in getting 12 Supasian weapons, you know what I'm saying. Iceland says say an asterisk.
I'm super focused and getting 12 Super Saiyan weapons, you know what I'm saying? I forgot. I'm falling asleep over here, so I don't blame you. I'm only gonna be up for another half hour. Then we're raiding out to the Real Reef podcast. Did I say that correctly, or did I butcher the shit out of that? I probably fucking butchered it.
I got Chespin. And it's just the Reef podcast, brother.
Okay. Is that a dog? Is that a shiny? No, it's not. It looks like a shiny, but it's not.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says he's forgotten me.
I've not forgotten you.
I don't know, I can
Slowly
see it.
fading- Slowly fading away. Oh yeah, let's go. That was a neat jump. Wait, I can't get up there? How the hell do you get up there?
Thagamers Reach says I'm gonna leave. I had fun hanging out with y'all.
Take care, gamers.
Take care, gamer. Thank you for stopping in.
Thagamers Reach says getting tired is all. Gwen Lucia 1978 says I wanted to play Tetris.
He's not
Thagamers
pulling
Reach says no
100%,
worries.
sweetie. Nightmare even says he's not 100% yet. You're gonna have to wait till next time.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I meant me.
She's willing to play Tetris, not against me, just in general.
Oh. Oh, she doesn't want to stream, she just wants to play. Practice. That's fine.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I wasn't trying to ask him to do it.
Well,
I
mean,
may not be live tomorrow,
Rival
guys, because I
Lobster
do
says,
have
did you beat
schoolwork
the game
tomorrow.
Nightmare?
No, I'm on rank B.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I've played alone before.
I know, Gwen. Bless you.
Thank you.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I'm willing to wait to play with him when he is feeling better.
I know, and he appreciates that.
Oh, yeah.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says and has the time. Bless you.
Surely there's a glitch. Super focus again. 12 Super Saiyan weapons. Thank you for the lurk.
Appreciate the lurk, Maury.
Indoudera underscore opulence says so I have a 6-shooter now.
Nice.
Nice. Welcome back, Endow. Welcome back.
Indoudera underscore opulence says I never left.
I never left. That's good to know.
Alright, guys. Let's see. They should be getting ready to go live here soon.
Yeah, I'm falling in and out of sleep.
Trying to see if they're going live here in a minute.
Send me the name too so I can,
Really? It's popped up like 4 times on my chat, dude.
Oh. Where it's invisible to me, but not to you. Here it is. Oh, someone save it here. And we're gonna read out.
Not yet. They're not live yet.
Alright. Let's do one more battle while I wait.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, what about me?
I think she's wanting to play Tetris on stream, brother. I think she's wanting to play Tetris on stream, brother.
Like, you wanna stream Tetris, Gwen? Like, you wanna continue being live? Cause I'm fading in and out. I'm not gonna respond to it. Gwen, did you wanna do it live?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, can't it be part of the same stream?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says yes.
So she does wanna play it live.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, so you don't have to end.
Well, I've already put in 10 hours. And you have
Gwen
to go to
Lucia
work in the morning.
1978 says, or raid out.
We're raiding out to the podcast just to give them some more support.
Gwen
Yeah.
Lucia 1978 says it's only
honestly,
621.
It's already 6, it's about to be 6:30 out here. But still, don't you need like some rest and you haven't eaten anything?
Gwen Lucia 1978 says yeah.
I mean, I don't want you overdoing it. I'm over here fading in and out. Like, literally, I'm fading in and out.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says I've been at bed all day.
I'm dragging it. Now that I know that's what I know, but it's just smart to get more rest. I'm not discouraging you, I'm just saying you need a lot of rest. If I'm over here fading in and out, you can imagine what you would be doing.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, so I disappoint Tetris Tuesday viewers by not showing to make up for yesterday.
It's not disappointing anybody. If you can't stream, don't stream.
You're not disappointed. A lot of the viewers said, get some rest. They know you work. They know you deal with a lot of crap. You're not disappointing nobody. It's not your fault. They even said as much, get some rest. You're not disappointing anybody. They would rather you get rest, adequate rest, relaxation. You never disappointed anybody. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from. And I'm feeling my body slowly crashing. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, it's not good.
I really feel myself fading. Like literally fading away. Achoo! 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 Goodness gracious.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, you said viewers don't like it if you don't show. Bless you.
It's how we both feel. I have the same issue. I feel like I let people down if I don't show up.
No, I said the viewers don't mind if you don't show up. They're not going to get mad. You misunderstood what I said. You know, I think your adopted mother's right. I need to really, speak to you in a way that helps you remember certain details and also tell you to write them down in case you need to remember. And thank you, by the way, for the blessings. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna kill this little plant ice Pokemon. I got my ticket.
Oh.
I never said the viewers were going to be disappointed. I don't know why you thought that. I said it may look disappointing, but they're not going to be disappointed. They would rather you rest than to push yourself to the limit. And I don't mean the song, push it to the limit. Oh, you want to play? Okay, fine. We'll play.
Gwen Lucia 1978 says, the Eagles.
The Eagles, yes. Push it to the limit. Limit. I'm going to push it to the limit. Cause I don't know this song by heart. raiding out, brother?
Once they start, yeah. Oh,
Alright,
looks
guys.
like they started.
I don't. You're starting?
They started, yeah.
Alright, we're raiding out, guys. Thank you for stopping in. I'm gonna save it real quick. I'm fading in and out, and I have to order food. And Gwen needs to get rest.
Gwen Lucia
No one's gonna
1978
be
says no comment.
disappointed in you. It would be disappointing in me if I forced you to stream. So we're going to no comment. We're gonna raid out. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for streaming with me, Nightmare. It's always a pleasure.
Gwen Lucia
brother.
1978 says I hope you feel better, Nightmare.
I hope you feel better, brother. With that being said,